Election Coverage 2024 is presented by WLAF and these outstanding corporate partners. Alco Builders and Realty. See Tracy Lobertini and staff at Alco Builders and Realty. Verge Screen Printing. Larry, Dawn, Kobe, and Kimberly Verge are ready to bring your idea to reality. Community Trust Bank. Building communities built on trust with locations in La Follette, Jacksboro, and Clinton. Quality Lawn Sales and Service, Cub Cadet, and more for Campbell County at Indian Mound Circle. La Follette Utilities Board, LUB, providing you with reliable, economical, and friendly service in a continuous effort to enhance the quality of life in our community. Local Realtor Gage Dopel. Gage is ready to help you find your dream home or help you sell your home. 423-201-7971. La Follette Mine Supply. La Follette Mine Supply is where everyone goes for boat lifts, septic tanks, and septic chambers, along with PVC pipe, conduit, and rebar. Bailey and Brody Ball remind you that their dad, Billy, even delivers rebar. Lithocraft, printing and office supplies. Since 1961, Lithocraft has been right there on West Beach Street, serving you with all your printing and office supplies. Need something printed? Email it to printmelithocraft@gmail.com. Smith Metals and Dock Sales, right across from Campbell High. Our name says it all. Smith Metals and Dock Sales. Friendly service awaits you. Southern Sass Boutique welcomes you by for the latest styles and an impressive selection. See Southern Sass Boutique next to Charlie's Pizza. First National Bank presents the all-new First National Bank Cougars debit card in the Campbell High colors of orange and blue. Election Coverage 2024 is presented by WLAF and these outstanding corporate partners. Robbins Guttering Roofing and Siding. Call on Eric Robbins today about improving the look of your home or office or making sure your roof is ready for any kind of weather. See Robbins in its new location in the valley across from Big O's. Deal Small Engine and Distributing, your home for steel. TCAT, the leader in technical education and industry training. TCAT is making higher education available to more Tennesseans. Tennessee College of Applied Technology. Community Health of East Tennessee, Chet. Chet is meeting the need. Attorney Greg Leach with Sexton, and Leach. Greg is now assisting with Medicare Advantage plans. So when open enrollment rolls around in the fall, call on Greg, 423-907-4804. Campbell County Mayor Jack Lynch. Mayor Lynch is working every day to move Campbell County forward. Collectibles and More is your locally owned and operated home for all kinds of sports memorabilia. See former Cougar Justin Lettner in his La Follette location directly across the 4-lane from Tim Short Ford. People's Bank of the South. Remote deposit is here. Deposit your check anytime, anywhere with the People's Bank of the South app. 2 locations in La Follette and off I-75 at Clinton. Dave's Lawnmower Parts and Service. See Dave and Albright behind the former Scotties at Caravel. Find them next to where the Liars Bench used to be. Gamble Motors has been in business since the 1950s and has sold more than 100,000 vehicles. Jim Gamble is ready to put you behind the wheel of the vehicle of your dreams. When it comes to the home, come to Winder Furniture, next to Stoplight 8 in La Follette. Home, office, or lake home, Winder Furniture makes shopping easy. WLAF, AM, FM, TV, and .com. It's Election Coverage 2024. And good evening. It's our second election coverage of 3 for this 2024 year. Jim Freeman along with Susan Sharp and special guest here tonight. Susan, glad you're here.
Thank you, Jim. Glad to be here.
Well, we have some totals in already here at 7:30.
How'd we do that?
Well, from Big O's.
Oh,
yeah.
There you go.
The Big O's Hot Dog Wars, won by Big O's Cumberland. We had the finals this morning. 2,848 hot dogs at Cumberland sold, 2,721 sold at Big O's Valley, 5,500 plus hot dogs. A great month for July, a lot of fun. 4th of July, of course, all around that, but little totals for you here to get us started this evening.
Well, that was some good voter turnout.
It was, no question about that. And Big O's, of course, one of our longtime sponsors here at WLAF. We have kind of a short ballot here tonight, but a very important ballot, of course. We have school board, property assessor.
Yes.
And we have Ken Yager's challenged for the first time in quite a while tonight. Dennis Powers, one of our guests here tonight. Former Sheriff Robbie Goins here as well. Dennis, unopposed. He's glad of that. He's kind of kicking back here tonight. But a pretty big ballot with regard to it being what we call, I guess, maybe an off year for that. But with regard to the school board, 5 seats up for that. Ron Dilbeck, unopposed as road superintendent. He'll visit with us tonight. Dennis Powers, as mentioned, state representative, unopposed tonight. And, of course, we have the primaries for the U.S. Senate, Republican and Democrats facing off here tonight.
Yeah, it is an off year, but it's still a pretty full ballot, Jim.
Well, it'll be full enough to keep us busy, we hope, for a while here tonight.
We hope. I won't jinx us. I won't say anything. Okay,
let's don't do that. We invite you to stay connected. We're going to bring our guest in as we work our way toward 8 o'clock. The poll is closing at 8. State Senator Ken Yager will join us via telephone tonight at 8 o'clock. We'll hear from him and talk about how his campaign has gone so far in his primary to gain re-election as a state senator for District 12. Stay connected. This is WLAF Election Coverage 2024. Election Coverage 2024 is presented by WLAF and these outstanding corporate partners: Alco Builders and Realty, Bird Screen Printing, Community Trust Bank, Quality Lawn Sales and Service, La Follette Utilities Board, Local Realtor Gage Dopel, La Follette Mine Supply, Lithocraft Printing and Office Supplies, Smith Metals and Dock Sales, Southern Sass Boutique, First National Bank, Robbins Guttering Roofing and Siding, Deal Small Engine and Distributing, Tennessee College of Applied Technology, TCAT, Attorney Greg Leach, Campbell County Mayor Jack Lynch, Collectibles and more, People's Bank of the South, Dave's Lawnmower Parts and Service, Gamble Motors, and by Winder Furniture, WLAF, AMFMTV, and .com. It is WLAF Election Coverage 2024, and we are on Thursday night, August 1st. We're getting this month off to a roaring start here, Dennis. Thanks for coming along, being here. You've been a busy fellow this afternoon, a couple of events already.
Yeah, they always have a lot of election events on election year that we need to attend, so I try to get to all of them that I can, whether I have an opponent on the ballot or not.
Well, you've been to the Christian Academy open house tonight at 6 o'clock. Billy Claiborne with his Tallytown golf tournament. And did you get anything to eat there?
No, they actually had spaghetti, but I heard you had pizza, so I was going to wait and eat up here with you.
Well, that is in honor of our dear friend Al Rotella, and of course Coach Al he did the basketball play-by-play here on WLAF.
Right.
He coached the football team in the basketball season. He was here to do play-by-play on the old radio station. But fun time up there, I'm sure, this afternoon.
Yeah, they had Bob Kessling was getting ready to speak. I had to cut out, but he was getting ready. But they had a pretty good turnout and a good tournament.
Well, it wasn't very cold up there today, thank goodness.
No, I think they had a little heat problem. Everybody was ready to get in and get it over with.
Hottest day of the year.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, take us through this election process. If you get one vote in this election, you'll be 8 straight wins as state representative. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You've lost some along the way.
Yes.
What's it like as you work your way toward an election day and then election night like tonight to kind of where do the emotions come into all that?
Well, first of all, it's better to win than lose.
Sure.
And I've done both. They always get me to speak to the freshmen that are incoming in the House of Representatives, because that's the first thing I tell them. I say, guys, I know how to win and I know how to lose, and it's a lot more fun winning because you get kind of depressed. It's kind of, after you've done all that work, and it still takes a lot of money even when you get beat. You're spending a lot of money and time and effort, and anybody that's lost an election, especially a close one like I have, it's just really for a while there, you're at time to take down signs and everything, and the agony of defeat, rather than the thrill of victory. But it's just working up, it's just a lot different when you don't have an opponent. You still try to attend everything you're invited to, and I always try to do that even throughout the year. But you don't have to get out and put up signs as much or or do some of the campaign activities that you would normally do during an election time when you do have an opponent. So it's much better, believe me.
On the winning side. Wasn't there one election you lost by like maybe 3 votes or something very small like that?
Well, yeah, they had the early election returns that night actually had me winning by 9. And then overnight, of course, they were counting all the absentee ballots and everything. So I ended up losing by 24. And that's out of back then it was about 14,000 votes or so. And so that's how important it is to make sure that, you got everybody out there voting and everybody that's supporting you, making sure they go to the polls and vote, and how important it is for everybody to vote, for that matter.
Well, of course, you get plenty of campaigning in because you come up for election or re-election every 2 years, so you're almost
Right.
campaigning year-round all the process.
Yeah, we always say we get 1 year off and then 1 year back on. So, yeah, you only get 1 year free of campaigning and then you're back. But that's how the founders set it up. They wanted the House, even in Congress, to be the one closest to the people. And that's one way that you can be closer to the people, by knowing that you're out there and every opportunity that you have, and out there meeting people and everything during that 2-year period. Because you have to really stay close, and you don't get in that bubble, and you don't get in that area where you're forgetting about the people that you're working for. When you have a real long stint and don't have to campaign forever, 8 years, it's really hard to, you kind of lose touch with people sometimes, and this way you always stay in touch.
Well, now, of course, you've had some opponents, obviously, over the years. You have elections in August and then in November. When do you start really getting into the campaign mode when you have an election in August and November that year?
It depends there again whether you have an opponent
Sure.
in August. If you don't have one in the primary, you usually wait till right around where the primary begins, and then you've got about 100 days there to go at it kind of full scale. If you do have a primary too, then you usually have to start around June or something like that, and then work through the primary and then through November. So you got a very long period. You got 5 months or so there that you're really campaigning hard.
Fantastic. We're glad you're here tonight.
Glad to be
Appreciate you
here.
being
Thank you for inviting me.
It is Election Coverage 2024 on WLAF. Susan Sharp is with our other special guest tonight, former Sheriff Robbie Goins. Let's toss it across the studio here to Susan and Robbie.
All right, thank you, Jim. Robbie Goins, our former sheriff. How are you?
Great.
How have you been?
Good, doing good.
Staying
Really
busy the last
good.
couple
Oh, yeah.
of years?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Glad to be here. Can you believe it's election time?
No, I can't.
I mean,
it seems
it's
like we just did
flew
this.
by. Yeah. Yeah. Wasn't no time that here we are again, So.
Well, let's talk about campaigning. You've done that a couple of times,
A few,
haven't you?
yeah.
What's it like to get out there and campaign and meet the people?
I was thinking today when I went and voted, how hard these people work. Because if you're successful at it, you have to really put the time and effort into it, and spend the money, and get out and see people. And I usually started early spring, maybe earlier than that, and I'd say most of these folks have too. But it's a big time. It's a job. It's a job.
It's a job unto
It is.
itself.
It is.
While you're working a job.
Oh, yeah. I mean, hustling both things. And, these folks have families. You lose your family time. You don't have any free time, because when you get off work, you have to go campaign or hang signs or go to get-togethers or whatever you got to do, And if you don't do that, you're not going to make it. You have to really get out and bust your butt.
Well, of course, after campaigning comes voting, and then voting means waiting for the election results. What is that
gosh. It's a good, bad feeling. You're glad it's over, but man, you want to hear the results, And I know what these folks are waiting for. They went 6 months, and now they're right here tonight.
This is the finish line.
This is it, yeah.
Well, who did you always look to for your election results?
Right
there's only
here,
one answer.
right here.
That's
WLAF.
right.
I always wanted to make sure I was here on election night.
Well, we always appreciated you stopping by. Very glad you're with us
I am
tonight.
too. I am too. Good to see everybody.
Also, what's it like to fundraise? How hard is that?
Well, the first time I ran, I remember behind Judy's Grocery, I was out walking by myself, and I'm thinking, well, what am I doing? How am I going to do this?
Where did I get this idea?
Yeah, where'd this come from? But, slowly but surely people have faith in you and trust in you, and they want to donate to your campaign and help you out, and you pray that happens, because it's expensive. Like these people that's put these signs out, and I hated for somebody's sign to get torn down or anything like that because, you know, there's a lot of money in that. And a lot of time and effort to put those up. And like I was telling you guys earlier, you know, I didn't have to worry about these thunderstorms this time.
Oh, exactly.
Because you have to go put them up. Everybody's calling, hey. They don't put them up for you. They call you and say, hey, come, your sign's in the middle of the 4-lane down here, you know.
Well, we were talking about this being an off-year election. We had a large number of signs for it to be an off-year election, and then we had straight line winds on Tuesday night. So there were a lot of people out there picking up their signs in the middle of the night.
It's obvious how hard these people have worked.
They have.
Mean, even the district race, they've really got out.
Now, you were sharing some funny stories with us before we came on the air. Tell us again about the Jeep rally.
Oh, the first time I had a really big rally was at the old Ingalls building, and I'm there, and we had a friend of mine had a Jeep club, and they're down there jumping up the bank by Taco Bell, and we had traffic backed up the 4-lane, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you know, I'm not going to be sheriff, I'm going to go to jail. But just really blessed for that. And I was telling you a story about Ray Ivy. You know, I was at work on Monday after that and worked with Ray, and he came and he was telling me that he'd been there and how great it was and everything. And he said, but you are the worst public speaker I've ever heard, you know. And I'm like, you know, I really am at this point. I am.
But you got better. In fact, you got really good at public speaking.
It just grows on you, I guess, you know.
Well, it's one of those things, it's an acquired talent.
Yeah.
And you're going to be doing some of public speaking by being here with us tonight.
Yeah,
we appreciate that.
That's fine, yeah.
So, all right. Well, Matthew, are we ready to toss it back to Jim for a minute?
Hey, we've got it back. All right. Ron Dilbeck has made his way to the studio. We'll have him with us here in just a few moments. And I think that he was able to get one vote and get over the finish line.
Oh, okay.
We hope so.
He made it to the poll.
You've been at this for many years now. It doesn't seem like it's been that long, but it's gone by quickly.
It does.
Do you have a funny story or maybe a special memory along the way of the campaign trail or just part of being a politician?
I've got a lot of them, to be honest with you.
You can't tell us all of them, I guess.
Well, no, one I'm going to share, I'm going to have to use a little bit of foul language, but I'll try to keep it not too bad. But anyway, I will never forget, Davis Chapel is no longer a voting precinct, but at one time it was, and so they'd meet at the community center, and so one time we had, it was a really time that there was a lot of turnout, a lot of interest in a lot of the races and everything, and it goes back to what the sheriff was talking about when it had a sheriff's race and had a big crowd. So we were all up giving our little stump speech and everything, and at that time it was actually there was a big debate going on about snake handling in our county.
Yes.
So
I think I remember this one. Go ahead.
My opponent got up, and so I got up, and somebody asked me about that. That was one of the questions that come up, and I said, well, I don't really think we need to change the law. There's a fine, against it or whatever. And so I go back and sat down, and my opponent got up and he said, I'm actually pro snake handling. I think that we should do it. I think we need to get rid of the fine. And the guy that was doing it, Earl Strange, God rest his soul, great guy. He had an oxygen tank back then. He was having some health problems, but he walked over to me and looked down at me and he said, you don't have a damn thing to worry about. I'll never forget that one the rest of my life. It was just a funny time, and everybody cracked up that heard him, So it was, we've had a lot of good stories. So one other I'll share with you real quick. I was going up, we're knocking on doors. We've all done that before that have run for office, and went up to one house, and up on the top of it, it said, everybody all trespassers will be shot. All survivors will be shot again. And so I didn't go knock on the door that time. We just turned around and walked off and went on our merry way. But we have a lot of good stories along the way that we run into and things that you never think about.
Oh, my goodness. Well, let's see. 3 elections and then the now 8. So you've been involved in 11 elections.
11, 8 and 3, which is good. Like I said, good for a baseball team.
Yeah.
Not when you're running for office.
Well, actually 8-0. You've won 8 straight. So
well, that's true. Yeah, I've been very fortunate.
Little string going there.
Very grateful.
We're counting our way down to 8 o'clock tonight. Robbie Goins, Dennis Powers, Ron Dilbeck here in a minute, our special guest tonight. We're glad you're along. We'll start getting some numbers in here, hopefully very soon after 8 o'clock. But at 8, we'll talk with State Senator Ken Yager here on WLAF. And we're going to toss it back over to Susan Sharp and Robbie Goins, and then we'll bring Ron Dilbeck onto the stage here with us as we, again, work our way toward 8 o'clock and election finals tonight here on WLAF.
Okay, so we will talk about campaigning some more, Robbie. Dennis was talking about knocking on doors. Is that a hard task to do because you don't know what's on the other side?
Yeah.
They might be for the other guy. Can you talk to us about that?
Well, you go to a lot of homes that people are having dinner and they don't want, you're there early or later in the evening, so that's when you catch everybody home. But, most folks are really nice. Campbell County is a great place to be.
It is.
It is. I mean, everybody around here is so nice, but you run into some that don't want to be bothered, So.
Well, not everybody's political either. You have a lot of people who just don't vote, who don't care. But I'm sure you ran, 4 times?
Yeah.
You probably hit every hill and every holler in this community.
I have been everywhere.
Places we don't even realize.
Yes, because if you miss a house, it bothers you. You want to go back, or you make sure you go see those folks.
When you were in the process of campaigning, how did you guys kind of brainstorm and come up with your events? Because you had several rallies.
We would take like 3 weeks in advance and just plan everything from the food to what kind of entertainment we're going to have, if we're going to give anything away. If we gave shirts away, we'd have to plan ahead for the shirts to have them there, and you'd always run out,
Oh, always.
But just a lot of planning. I mean, and then you go from one to the other. When you've done an event, you automatically start planning for the next one. And try to line that all up around 4th of July and everything that's happening where you can get a crowd of people.
And I bet you did a lot of Monday morning quarterback and saying, "Oh man, we could have done this different.
Yeah.
We could have done that different."
Yeah.
Did you apply that to the next event?
Sometimes, yeah. It was all good though. I enjoyed it. Kind of miss it, as
Do you
part
really?
of it. Yeah, I mean, it's part of you.
Well, I know that having done that so many times, it got into a rhythm and a routine.
Yeah.
Like every 4 years, it's like, okay, it's time to.
I mean, I can flat hang an election sign.
And you didn't have to pick any up the other night, did
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The wind was blowing, and I'm like, it's okay.
Got to breathe a little sigh of relief, didn't you?
Talking about signs, my brother-in-law, Monty Bullock, when I was younger, he would come in, he would start in the mornings, and he hung plywood signs. They didn't have the plastic corrugated stuff. So he had plywood. So he would paint the plywood. My sister would stencil it when she got home from work. He would go out door to door. Then he would go hang signs by himself and had nobody helping him. I told Monty one day, I said, I got to apologize. I said, because I never helped you. And
I was going to ask, did you ever go help?
You done all this work yourself, and it's tough. It is,
well,
especially the way he done it,
Well, and that is hard. But like you said, it was a different time. We didn't have all the opportunity.
No.
We didn't have vinyl signs.
No.
When you and I were growing up, it was all plywood. It was all hand
plywood, fence post, and he told me he would raise the sign up with his foot, put a screw in, raise it on up, and I'm thinking, I didn't have it that bad.
Oh, we're lucky we have him. One of those could have fallen over. Would have been no more Monty Bullock.
Yeah, exactly.
So, so he's been in office for how many years?
Oh, I don't know. He's been there for a while.
So long enough that you could have pitched in.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's dated my sister like 13 years. They were married. I mean, he's just like my brother, So,
but you still didn't help him.
I did not help him.
Do you at least host?
But I apologize.
You apologize, but do you host Christmas dinner now as an apology?
Yeah, I've taken care of it.
Okay, well that'll take care of it then. That's good. Well, we hope to be getting some results soon. We're hoping that you guys will stick around, help us go over some of those. We already have the Big O's hot dog results. I believe it was the Cumberland Big O's that won. About 5,500 hot dogs bought in the month of July. Good hot dog month right there. And as soon as we get some results, we will share those with you. We're coming up on our call with State Senator Ken Yager, and we'll keep you informed.
Election Coverage 2024 is presented by WLAF and these outstanding corporate partners. Alco Builders and Realty. See Tracy Lobertini and staff at Alco Builders and Realty. Burge Screen Printing. Larry, Dawn, Kobe, and Kimberly Burge are ready to bring your idea to reality. Community Trust Bank. Building communities built on trust with locations in La Follette, Jacksboro, and Clinton. Quality lawn sales and service, Cub Cadet, and more for Campbell County at Indian Mound Circle. La Follette Utilities Board, LUB, providing you with reliable, economical, and friendly service in a continuous effort to enhance the quality of life in our community. Local realtor Gage Dopel. Gage is ready to help you find your dream home or help you sell your home. 423-201-7971. La Follette Mine Supply. La Follette Mine Supply is where everyone goes for boat lifts, septic tanks, and septic chambers, along with PVC pipe, conduit, and rebar. Bailey and Brody Ball remind you that their dad, Billy, even delivers rebar. Lithocraft, printing and office supplies. Since 1961, Lithocraft has been right there on West Beach Street, serving you with all your printing and office supplies. Need something printed? Email it to printmelithocraft@gmail.com. Smith Metals and Dock Sales, right across from Campbell High. Our name says it all. Smith Metals and Dock Sales. Friendly service awaits you. Southern Sass Boutique welcomes you by for the latest styles and an impressive selection. See Southern Sass Boutique next to Charlie's Pizza. First National Bank presents the all-new First National Bank Cougars debit card in the Campbell High colors of orange and blue. Election Coverage 2024 is presented by WLAF and these outstanding corporate partners. Robbins Guttering Roofing and Siding. Call on Eric Robbins today about improving the look of your home or office or making sure your roof is ready for any kind of weather. See Robbins in its new location in the valley across from Big O's. Deal Small Engine and Distributing, your home for steel. TCAT, the leader in technical education and industry training. TCAT is making higher education available to more Tennesseans. Tennessee College of Applied Technology. Community Health of East Tennessee, Chet. Chet is meeting the need. Attorney Greg Leach with Sexton, and Leach. Greg is now assisting with Medicare Advantage plans. So when open enrollment rolls around in the fall, call on Greg, 423-907-4804. Campbell County Mayor Jack Lynch. Mayor Lynch is working every day to move Campbell County forward. Collectibles and More is your locally owned and operated home for all kinds of sports memorabilia. See former Cougar Justin Lettner in his La Follette location directly across the 4-lane from Tim Short Ford. People's Bank of the South. Remote deposit is here. Deposit your check anytime, anywhere with the People's Bank of the South app. 2 locations in La Follette and off I-75 at Clinton. Dave's Lawnmower Parts and Service. See Dave and Albright behind the former Scotties at Caravel. Find them next to where the Liars Bench used to be. Gamble Motors has been in business since the 1950s and has sold more than 100,000 vehicles. Jim Gamble is ready to put you behind the wheel of the vehicle of your dreams. When it comes to the home, come to Winder Furniture, next to Stoplight 8 in La Follette. Home, office, or lake home, Winder Furniture makes shopping easy. WLAF, AM, FM, TV, and .com. It's Election Coverage 2024. And we welcome you back into our coverage of Election 2024 here on WLAF. We welcome in those at the Election Commission office. Jamie Ball, the chairman of the Election Commission, saying, what channel is that tonight? It's channel 1089 here on Comcast on WLAF TV. And we're getting a little feedback, I guess, from our monitor over here. We're on standby for State Senator Ken Yager. And speaking of the State Senator, Ken Yager, one of his good pals is here, Ron Dilbeck, Road Superintendent. Hello, Ron.
Thank you, Jim. Good to be here this evening.
You worked a lot, you worked very closely with the Senator, especially on this Stinking Creek Road project years ago.
Yeah, I do. And, I can only praise Senator Yager and Mr. Powers, too. I mean, they're a great help to Campbell County. We lean on them probably a little bit too much, but, Dennis and Senator Yager, they always come through, and it's an honor, to be able to work with them and stuff.
Well, congratulations to you. I'm sure you found that one vote somewhere out there to come back in as road superintendent.
I'm hoping my wife voted for me, so got all this started, and Dennis said he'd take care of me also. So.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you got a couple of, maybe a backup in his vote there. Okay, very good. You have had a challenging winter. You and I were out on the road back in January, that 2 or 3 weeks of winter that we had there. It was really serious winter weather. Yeah. And now we've come a 180 dealing with the spring and the summer type weather. You and your crew have had a tough week this week.
We have. We had those severe storms come through. I think it was Tuesday afternoon, and we just had, I don't know the number of trees, but I mean hundreds of trees. And, and very lucky a lot of the residents in the areas didn't get their homes destroyed. I mean, they had a lot of damage, a lot of trees down, and very lucky people didn't lose their lives. I mean, that's how bad a situation it was.
Well, we dodged a big bullet with regard to personal safety, and you and your crew got out in the Well Springs area not long after lunchtime on Tuesday, then had that next round come in about 4:30, something like that. What's the progress been? We talked this was going to be a days, weeks, maybe a month or two type project.
Well, we've got all the roads back open. We still have a lot of debris, brush, and just in general cleanup, and it's going to take weeks. And we're going to help the residents too. We're going to try to help them. They're going to get their stuff out to the road, and we're going to get that, and it's going to be a big process. But we'll be there back Monday morning and start on it again.
How bad was this storm when you were able to get there on Wednesday during daylight hours and see the devastation?
For a small area where the storm was located at, it was the worst one I had seen in a few years.
This Davis Chapel, Carwin Road area.
Davis Chapel, Carwin, Back Valley, back around up towards Flat Hollow. It seemed like it hit right in there, then maybe came back up and touched back down towards Flat Hollow again.
Well, that Water Street photo that we were talking about, the tree probably as big as this room, at least it looked that way.
Yes.
If it wasn't, it was close.
Yeah, that root ball was just, I don't know, I'm going to say it as big as that backhoe. I mean, it was huge. Yeah, it was huge, and it was sitting right in the middle of the road. And it was that was a pretty good task just to get that out of the road. So.
Yeah, these we talked about just being average-sized trees. These were gigantic. Ron, don't go away. Your buddy, Senator Ken Yager, is on the line. We're going to visit with him here for just a moment or two as the polls will close in most locations if nobody's in line to vote. Maybe you already have here at 8 o'clock. Stay connected. State Senator Ken Yager next here live on WLAF. Election Coverage 2024 is presented by WLAF and these outstanding corporate partners: Alco Builders and Realty, Bird Screen Printing, Community Trust Bank, Quality Lawn Sales and Service, La Follette Utilities Board, Local Realtor Gage Dopel, La Follette Mine Supply, Lithocraft Printing and Office Supplies, Smith Metals and Dock Sales, Southern Sass Boutique, First National Bank, Robbins Guttering Roofing and Siding, Deal Small Engine and Distributing, Tennessee College of Applied Technology, TCAT, Attorney Greg Leach, Campbell County Mayor Jack Lynch, Collectibles and more, People's Bank of the South, Dave's Lawnmower Parts and Service, Gamble Motors, and by Winder Furniture, WLAF, AMFMTV, and .com. It is Election Coverage 2024 on WLAF. We're pleased and honored to have our state senator, Ken Yager, on the line with us. Senator, congratulations on a great campaign you have executed this summer, this spring, and we're anxious to get some numbers in here for you tonight. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. It has been, I have, of course, the largest district in the state, but there's only two ways to run for office: unopposed or scared. And so I got out there and we put at least 15,000 miles on my car in 3 months, and with over 120 scheduled stops, not to mention the unscheduled stops. So we have run an exhaustive campaign, and all over the district, but in Campbell County as well, which is my second largest county.
Well, we've had the pleasure of seeing you here a time or two the last few weeks, couple of months. Yeah. And we certainly appreciate all you've done for our community, our county. Ron Dilbeck is on the telecast with us here tonight. And of course, that Stinking Creek Road project here, that is something that will live on here, that you had a major hand in getting through.
Yes. Glad to do it. Couldn't find a better person to work with than Ron.
Senator, we know that you are on a tight schedule. We will not keep you any longer. We thank you for taking time. And final thought from you, please.
Well, it's the time, for the last 3 months or so, the politicians have crisscrossed their districts, doing all the talking. And now the people are talking today. And in just a few minutes, we're going to hear what they had to say. I'm optimistic and expect a great victory tonight in Campbell County and throughout my district. But let's not lose sight of the fact it's all about the people, our constituents.
Absolutely. State Senator Ken Yager, thank you. A pleasure as always. We will catch up with you soon.
All right.
Thank you. It is WLAF's Election Coverage 2024. Now we toss to Susan Sharp and Robbie Goins. Susan?
All right, thank you, Jim, and thank you, State Senator Ken Yager, for calling in. Robbie, it's about 8:05. Historically, those early vote numbers start coming in about 8:30?
Yeah.
That's about when the nail biting starts?
Yeah. Oh, it's already started.
It's already started.
Yeah.
Started when they picked up the petitions?
Yeah. Started when you got up this morning.
I'm sure. For the people that step out there and take these chances and run for office, you have to admire them, whether you're political or not.
Yeah, and for whoever you're for, you have to respect what these people do. It takes a lot to go pick that petition up, turn it in, get on the ballot, and then put your name and your reputation and everything out there. And I think everybody probably has good ideas, their own ideas, and it's all for the good of Campbell County. I think.
Is.
So kudos to all of them. That's why I see nothing but good coming from these guys, and but there can only be a few winners. So,
and I think that's the hard thing. Everybody has most everybody has those good intentions. They want to come in, they want to help, but then you're faced with the challenges. And sometimes campaigns can turn ugly, which is unfortunate because that's not what it's about. It's about actually serving your community, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But sometimes, like you say, they do. But in Campbell County, you don't see it that much.
No.
You really don't.
Well, talking about serving the community, you did that a lot during your terms. I know that you actually started the back to school school supply drive.
Yeah.
Where did that idea come from?
Fill the van.
Fill the van.
Yeah,
I remember that. It used to be at Walmart.
I remember the first time I said that, people were like, "You've lost your mind." And we go to Walmart, throw the van out there, and fill it up.
You did. You never had a problem, did you?
Yeah, no, we never did. And it got bigger and bigger, and helped a lot of kids out.
Where did you get that idea from?
It just hit me one day. I was in the office, and I thought, we need to do some kind of school drive. And I thought, I was seeing that old van out there that we never used much. And I thought, we're going to go fill this van up. That's what we'll call it.
You and I went to school up in the East La Follette area back when it was La Follette Middle School, too. And I remember there were a lot of kids who struggled during that time. And I'm
just
sure
pencil
you
and paper.
Right, you probably remembered that, too, and thought, I'm going to jump in here and help.
We helped a lot of kids.
You
and they're
did.
still doing it today, I think. So.
Well, you started a great tradition with that, and I'm sure a lot of families.
And the DARE
were thankful.
program, we got that back, and now it's a LEAD program, and which is good. Kids need to hear about it.
They do.
And they need to have the truth told, and let them know and learn about how bad this is.
What age group is that targeted at?
5th grade.
So that's a great, right before they're going into middle school when there's so much peer pressure.
Yes. And, when I first got elected, we didn't have any SROs. So
No, we didn't.
Got to work on that, and with Micah Work and Rector Miller helped, and some more, and we gradually got a few, and then before you know it, hey, we've got a whole program, so.
And SROs are so important in the schools.
Yes. I couldn't imagine not having them.
I can't either.
So, proud of that.
Well, I know that, again, when we were growing up, you didn't have SROs in the schools. And then there was a time when we thought we didn't need them. But now, luckily, we do have them in every school. And you worked very hard with the director of schools, several director of schools, to make that happen.
It was a big deal. It was a big deal. And it took a long time to get all the schools covered. But, hey, they are now, and that's good.
Well, and we can be grateful to you for doing that. I know that everybody here is grateful when we have safe schools.
Yeah. We need that. I mean, our kids should go to school, and the teachers need to be safe. Can't forget them.
Going to venture into an area here. What did you think about allowing teachers to carry guns?
I just know how I would feel entering the building and knowing that.
As former law enforcement?
Yeah, as law enforcement, as former law enforcement, how I would feel knowing that there's other weapons in there. I can see a good to it, but I can see a lot of bad. You got to really know how to use a weapon, and you got to know what it's for and when to use it. And you can't take that bullet back.
No.
So I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it.
Mixed feelings.
Yeah.
I can understand that. We're still waiting for those early vote returns. We hope to have those very soon. And then after that, the precincts will come rolling in. They seem to come in pretty quick. Of course, I think I just jinxed us with that. Historically, it's Clarefield is the last one to come in?
Yeah.
And that's understandable. They've got quite the haul.
Yeah, they do.
But thanks to our road superintendent, Ron Dilbeck, they now have a good road to drive on, don't they?
Always, yeah.
Well, I'm going to toss it over to Jim Freeman and let him finish his interview with Ron Dilbeck.
Susan, thank you. Ron, this is a chance, I think, for you to publicly thank your staff. You and your staff do an outstanding job. Your chance to maybe brag on Tony Malone and everybody from there on along.
Yeah, that's true, Jim. I mean, not just myself, just all the employees down there. Tony A, number one man, great employee. I look at him as somebody that stands behind me every day, but he's going to stand in front of me if he needs to. Great man. The girls in the office can't say enough about them, and all the guys. Even the ones at the quarry. We don't see those every day out on the road, but they're out there. Operations at the quarry every day and crushing rock, and we have a dump site out there for a brush, and they take care of all that, and it's a big deal, and I'm very, very fortunate for all the employees there at the Highway Department.
Well, let's brag a moment about our friends at LUB. Regina Kennedy, her first full day as the new general manager on Tuesday, and this was a monumental power outage, more than 13,000 power outages. That number started dwindling fairly quickly, and they still have a few lingering out there. I talked with Regina this morning, but what an effort by the crew at LUB to be out, and they are a lot like you and your crew in the fact that it doesn't matter what the weather is, they got to go, and they go.
That's true. They do a great job, and I remember you told me one day when it came a big snow just a few days after I took office, you told me I got baptized. And I think Regina got baptized probably after that storm. So she'll do a great job. They have a lot of great employees up there too, and I have a lot of great friends up there. And we're fortunate Highway Department for them. They stand with us and help us a lot too.
Well, lots of that goes hand in hand. It certainly was going that way Tuesday night.
Yeah, it was. They were communicating with us, and we needed them, and they needed us, and it was a great effort between them and us, and I appreciate them. I sure do.
It is the election return coverage here 2024 on WLAF. Still waiting for our first returns to come rolling in. More than 2,600 early votes cast, and I think that's a pretty impressive number, again, given that it's not the real large election that we'll have here in a couple of years.
Yeah, that's greater than what I thought was going to, have a turnout on that early voting. Mm-hmm. So it looks like the people have came out and showed their force, in voting.
We'll get some numbers in here, we hope, very soon, as we have reporters at least 16 locations on the north side and, of course, here on the south side of Campbell County. And we will be anxiously waiting to get those in here in just the next little bit. It is election coverage 2024, wrong year, on WLAF. And thanks to all those who make this possible. And, Ron, did you take part in the hot dog wars at Big O's these last few weeks?
I probably do more than often, probably.
The truth comes out.
Yeah, Otis sees me there quite a bit, and whether it's in La Follette or up the road a little ways. But actually, me and Tony's a big supporter of Otis's, so Big O's. So.
Big O's Cumberland came away the winner in the hot dog wars. 2,848 hot dogs, and then 2,721 at Big O's Valley. And Chris Busby told me that they average about 1,400 hot dogs sold a month at each location, so they've more than doubled that. Let's switch to Susan Sharp and Robbie Goins with some numbers for us for the first time here tonight. Susan?
All right, thanks, Jim. We actually do have some numbers. I will say this, too. For this to be an off year, we have great viewers out there. I've actually heard that we have viewers in Richmond, Kentucky, and Manhattan, if you can believe that, Jim. Not that, I'm shameless plug there, but we do have some numbers in, and this is going to be Alder Springs. It's going to be the Alder Springs Precinct, District 1 School Board, Sherry Chapman, 12, Lisa Fields, 63, Robbie.
Wow.
How about that? In the property assessor race, this is a close one. We've got Marie Ayers at 31, Clark Ford at 2, and Brandon Parton at 41. Tennessee Senate District, Tina Hedrick, 10, and our current guest from a few minutes ago, Ken Yager, 60 votes. Marsha Blackburn in the United States Senate Republican primary at 65, and Trey Whittam at 3. Ron, you got 69 complimentary votes, and Dennis got 67. So also in the United States Democratic primary, Bradshaw at 0, Brown at 0, Gloria Johnson at 3, and Sybil Watkins at 0. So this is Alder Springs. We got those early, Robbie.
Early.
Yeah, it's usually.
So you didn't jinx us.
No, I didn't, did I? It is those early voting that come in, but we do have this. For those of you that might have missed that, let me give it to you again. In that District 1 School Board, Sherry Chapman at 12, Lisa Fields, 63, Property Assessors Race, Marie Ayers, 31, Clark Ford at 2, Brandon Parton 41, Tennessee Senate District 12, Tina Hedrick at 10, current State Senator Ken Yager at 60, United States Senate Republican Marsha Blackburn 65, Trey Whittam at 3, the United States Senate Democratic primary, Bradshaw 0, Brown 0, Gloria Johnson 3, Sybil Watkins 0, and our guest Ron Dillbeck with 69 complimentary votes, and Dennis Powers with 67 complimentary votes. So congratulations, guys. It looks like you're going back in office.
Everything goes well.
If everything goes well. Well, we are waiting on some more of those, actually hoping to get those early votes soon, and we're going to take a quick break.
Election Coverage 2024 is presented by WLAF and these outstanding corporate partners: Alco Builders and Realty, Bird Screen Printing, Community Trust Bank, Quality Lawn Sales and Service, La Follette Utilities Board, Local Realtor Gage Dopel, La Follette Mine Supply, Lithocraft Printing and Office Supplies, Smith Metals and Dock Sales, Southern Sass Boutique, First National Bank, Robbins Guttering Roofing and Siding, Deal Small Engine and Distributing, Tennessee College of Applied Technology, TCAT, Attorney Greg Leach, Campbell County Mayor Jack Lynch, Collectibles and more, People's Bank of the South, Dave's Lawnmower Parts and Service, Gamble Motors, and by Winder Furniture, WLAF, AMFMTV.com. Election Coverage 2024 is presented by WLAF and these outstanding corporate partners: Alco Builders and Realty. See Tracy Lobertini and staff at Alco Builders and Realty. Bird Screen Printing. Larry, Dawn, Kobe, and Kimberly Burge are ready to bring your idea to reality. Community Trust Bank. Building communities built on trust with locations in La Follette, Jacksboro, and Clinton. Quality Lawn Sales and Service, Cub Cadet, and more for Campbell County at Indian Mound Circle. La Follette Utilities Board, LUB, providing you with reliable, economical, and friendly service in a continuous effort to enhance the quality of life in our community. Local Realtor Gage Dopel. Gage is ready to help you find your dream home or help you sell your home. 423-201-7971. La Follette Mine Supply. La Follette Mine Supply is where everyone goes for boat lifts, septic tanks, and septic chambers, along with PVC pipe, conduit, and rebar. Bailey and Brody Ball remind you that their dad, Billy, even delivers rebar. Lithocraft, printing and office supplies. Since 1961, Lithocraft has been right there on West Beach Street, serving you with all your printing and office supplies. Need something printed? Email it to printmelithocraft@gmail.com. Smith Metals and Dock Sales, right across from Campbell High. Our name says it all. Smith Metals and Dock Sales. Friendly service awaits you. Southern Sass Boutique welcomes you by for the latest styles and an impressive selection. See Southern Sass Boutique next to Charlie's Pizza. First National Bank presents the all-new First National Bank Cougars debit card in the Campbell High colors of orange and blue. Election Coverage 2024 is presented by WLAF and these outstanding corporate partners. Robbins Guttering Roofing and Siding. Call on Eric Robbins today about improving the look of your home or office or making sure your roof is ready for any kind of weather. See Robbins in its new location in the valley across from Big O's. Deal Small Engine and Distributing, your home for steel. TCAT, the leader in technical education and industry training. TCAT is making higher education available to more Tennesseans. Tennessee College of Applied Technology. Community Health of East Tennessee, Chet. Chet is meeting the need. Attorney Greg Leach with Sexton, and Leach. Greg is now assisting with Medicare Advantage plans. So when open enrollment rolls around in the fall, call on Greg, 423-907-4804. Campbell County Mayor Jack Lynch. Mayor Lynch is working every day to move Campbell County forward. Collectibles and More is your locally owned and operated home for all kinds of sports memorabilia. See former Cougar Justin Lettner in his La Follette location directly across the 4-lane from Tim Short Ford. People's Bank of the South. Remote deposit is here. Deposit your check anytime, anywhere with the People's Bank of the South app. 2 locations in La Follette and off I-75 at Clinton. Dave's Lawnmower Parts and Service. See Dave and Albright behind the former Scotties at Caravel. Find them next to where the Liars Bench used to be. Gamble Motors has been in business since the 1950s and has sold more than 100,000 vehicles. Jim Gamble is ready to put you behind the wheel of the vehicle of your dreams. When it comes to the home, come to Winder Furniture, next to Stoplight 8 in La Follette. Home, office, or lake home, Winder Furniture makes shopping easy. WLAF, AM, FM, TV, and .com. It's Election Coverage 2024. Election Coverage 2024 here on WLAF. Before we say goodbye to our road superintendent, Ron Dilbeck, for the evening, let's get your Campbell High numbers in here for the school board race. Brandon Johnson out in front, 112 votes. Jessica Childress with 50. This is at the high school, District 3. Brandon Johnson, 112. Jessica Childress, 50 votes. At the property assessor's race, 44 for Marie Ayers with 44. Clark Ford with a couple of votes there. Brandon Parton with 113. That's at the high school, District 3. Marie Ayers 44, Clark Ford 2, and Brandon Parton 113. The Tennessee Senate District 12 race from the high school, Ken Yager, the incumbent, 128. Tina Hedrick, 9. Yager, 128. Hedrick, 9. The U.S. Senate Republican side for Marsha Blackburn, the incumbent, 115. Trey Whittam with 13. Whittam with 13. Blackburn with 115. The U.S. Senate Democratic race, Campbell High School, Marquita Bradshaw, 2. No votes for Lola Brown, and 4 votes for Gloria Johnson, none for Civil Watkins. Ron Dilbeck with 145 complimentary votes there, Ron. Congratulations. Dennis Powers with 118. And we certainly appreciate you taking time tonight, and thank you for all you and your crew do, and especially have done for our community this week alone.
Well, I appreciate that, Jim. You know, we try our best in our highway department. You know, we're always not going to be able to fulfill every need that we need to do, and mainly it's budget reasons is the main reasons. But I appreciate everyone that's voted for me on this voting cycle, and everyone that supports me, and my family and all my friends. I'm blessed. I couldn't ask for no better, and I thank the Lord for everything He does for me, and and I appreciate you all too. But and good to see Robbie and Susan, and and it's all good in my world right now, and I'm gonna hang in there as long as I can and try my best to help the people here in the county.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, thank you,
Ron. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's switch it back over to Susan Sharp with more totals for us. Susan.
All right, thank you, Jim. Again, we got a report from the Election Commission. Our reporter down there. There were still lines at the polls, so there's still a little bit of voting going on, Jim. We do have some numbers. District 5, the La Follette Rec Center, Marie Ayers 4. Clark Ford 1, Brandon Parton 11 in that property assessor's race. District 5 School Board, Ryan Cummins 6, Bob Walden 9. Tennessee Senate District 12, Tina Hedrick at 14, Ken Yager adding to that growing total of his, Robbie, with 10 more votes. United States Senate Republican, Marsha Blackburn 13, Trey Whittam 1. United States Senate in the Democratic primary, Bradshaw 0, Lola Brown 0, Gloria Johnson 1, Civil Watkins 0, Ron Dilbeck racking up another 15 complimentary votes, and Dennis, you got a 13 from that district, those complimentary votes. 13. Lucky 13. All right, now we have the Pinecrest Precinct, District 1 School Board, Sherry Chapman 44, Lisa Fields 46. Property Assessor's Race, Marie Ayers 44, Clark Ford 4, and Brandon Parton 54. That one's close, isn't it, Robbie?
Close.
You
Very
can
close.
remember how that makes you feel, can't
Really
you?
close.
Too close. Tennessee.
That was close, too.
That was
That was close. I hope Ron doesn't have to go back out and work some more tonight like he did the other night. I'll tell you. Wow, we were not. Welcome to live TV.
Really?
Tennessee Senate District 12, Tina Hedrick, and Ken Yager 63. Again, this is the Pinecrest Precinct. United States Senate in the Republican, Marsha Blackburn 67, Trey Whittam 10. United States Senate Democratic, Bradshaw 1, Lola Brown 2, Gloria Johnson 8, Civil Watkins 0, Ron Dilbeck, 87, and Dennis Powers, 74. We're just going to keep rolling along with this, y'all. They are coming in quickly, except for early voting, because there's still voting going on there. 4th District, Caryville Elementary. In that school board race, we have incumbent Josh James with 112 and challenger Jamie Wheeler at 124.
Wow.
That one's close, isn't
That's
it, Robbie?
close.
That's what you call a little too close for comfort
yeah.
sometimes. Okay, now in this one, District 4, Caryville Elementary, there's a gap here, guys. Property assessors race, Marie Ayers at 66, Clark Ford at 9, and our incumbent Brandon Parton at 165. Tennessee Senate District 12, Tina Hedrick, 23, Ken Yager, 164, United States Senate Republican, Marsha Blackburn, 168, Trey Whittam, 19, and United States Senate in the Democratic, Bradshaw 4, Lola Brown at nothing, Gloria Johnson at 17, and Sybil Watkins with nothing. Ron Dilbeck, 211, and Dennis Powers, another 181. Again, that's going to be your 4th District, Caryville Elementary. District 2, La Follette Elementary. In that school board race, incumbent Brent Lester with 163, Marvin Rutherford, his challenger, at 74. In the property assessors race, Marie Ayers at 76, Clark Ford at 10, and Brandon Parton at 157. Tennessee District Senate 12, Tina Hedrick, 19, Ken Yager, 155, United States Senate Republican, Blackburn, 159, Trey Whittam at 10, and Ron Dilbeck at 219. Dennis, another 165 for you. Complimentary votes there. And now we have Jacksboro Middle School. In that school board race, District 4, Josh James, the incumbent, with 90, and challenger Jamie Wheeler coming in at 112, Robbie. Those are some good numbers. Property assessors race, Marie Ayers, 67, Clark Ford, 15, and our incumbent, Brandon Parton, at 124. In that Tennessee District 12 Senate race, challenger Tina Hedrick at 17, incumbent Ken Yager at 143, United States Senate Republican Marsha Blackburn, 135, Trey Whittam at 23, United States Senate District in the Democratic, Bradshaw 4, Lola Brown 3, Johnson 11, Sybil Watkins with nothing, Ron Dilbeck getting 178 of those complimentary votes, and Dennis Powers coming up at 142 complimentary votes. And Robbie, I believe you need to say goodbye to us, don't you?
But it's been great. I've looked forward to this all week to come see you guys again. And who knows, might be back in 2 years.
Well,
see you guys. I mean, at the radio station.
Yeah, well, there's an election in November. We might call you back for that.
Hey, call me back.
We'll roll. But thank you. It was good to see you, and you are welcome in the WLAF studios anytime.
Thank you.
Going to toss it back to Jim now.
Very good, Robbie. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's going to be a short night for you now. Thanks, Matthew. Thank you, Susan. Let's mention we have totals. This is the 2nd District, all 3 districts. Change that. All 3 precincts out of District 2 reporting. This is not counting early voting yet. In the school board race, District 2, Brent Lester, the incumbent, 273. Lester with 273. And his challenger, Marvin Rutherford, 149. Those fellows are longtime buddies. 149 for Marvin Rutherford. That's all 3 precincts reporting in District 2. However, early voting yet to be factored into that. The assessor property race from District 2, all 3 of those precincts, the District 3 precincts, College Hill, East La Follette Elementary, Marie Ayers, 128, Ayers, 128, Clark Ford with 18, and Brandon Parton with 295. That's Ayers, 128, Ford, 18, Parton, 295. That's all precincts of District 2 reporting except for the early voting. And Dennis, you have a big upset that's brewing over in Blount County. This is on the state level, but nonetheless, folks who listen and watch here will know these names.
Yeah, it's actually in Union County, Jefferson. They have Granger, Claiborne, Hancock. I believe there's about 7 counties involved.
Okay.
Yeah, but Frank Nicely is behind in the Republican primary. It's like 59 to 41% right now.
Well, that's a pretty big gap.
I don't know if the early voting has factored into that or not, but yeah, it's a pretty big upset. He's been there he served in the House for about 14 years, and I think he's been in the Senate now for 8 years.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
We have another precinct coming in. This is from, let's double check here. we didn't get this marked down. Okay, this is coming in from Valley View. Okay, this is the Valley View precinct, and this is District 1 school board race. Sherry Chapman, the challenger, 164 at Valley View. Chapman, 164, and incumbent Lisa Fields, 159. That's Fields, 159. This is District 1 from Valley View, the precinct there. Chapman, 164, Fields, 159. To the property assessor's race, Marie Ayers, 101 at Valley View. Ayers, 101. Clark Ford, 18. Ford with 18. Brandon Parton with 217. Parton with 217 at Valley View. And Susan, you're getting some more numbers in, I think. Is that the case? Let's switch to you if that is the case.
It is, Jim. Thank you so much. We do have some numbers. This is going to be District 3 totals. Again, District 3 totals. District 3 School Board, Jessica Childress, 203. Brandon Johnson at 385. In that property assessor's race, Marie Ayers at 159 and Clark Ford at 22. Brandon Parton, our incumbent, is coming in at 414 votes. Again, that's going to be your District 3 totals as we wait for early results. We're still waiting to hear from the Election Commission. We had a report a few minutes ago that people were still voting at 8 o'clock, so those polls will remain open until everyone in line has had a chance to vote. As soon as we get those early totals, we'll give them back to you, and we'll be back in just a minute.
Okay, well. Okay. All right, here we are. Good.
There
we
we
didn't
go.
Okay, good enough. National Guard Armory. Have we read that one yet?
No.
No. Just brought it in. Very good. Let's go to the National Guard Armory. This is in District 3 school board race. It's Childress and Johnson. Jessica Childress, 112 votes at the National Guard Armory. Childress, 112. Brandon Johnson, 234. Johnson, 234. Those two vying for the seat held by Johnny Burge the last 20 years. Jessica Childress, 112. Brandon Johnson, 234. Property assessor's race at the National Guard Armory. Marie Ayers, 94 votes. Ayers, 94. Clark Ford with 17. Ford with 17. And Brandon Parton with 246. Parton at 246. Those again for you. Ayers, 94. Ford, 17. Parton, 246. We jump to West La Follette. This is a District 3 precinct. School board race. Jessica Childress, 41 votes there. 41 for Childress. Brandon Johnson with 39. Johnson, 39. That race continues to be close at times. Childress, 41. Brandon Johnson, 39. Property assessor's race. Marie Ayers with 21 votes. Ayers with 21. Brandon Parton with 55. Parton with 55. And Clark Ford with 3. 3 for Ford at West La Follette. And Susan, we're moving along fairly quickly here, but we're starting to see some separation in a couple of these races. But remember, early voting, more than 2,600 votes yet to be factored into all these numbers we've given you so far. So what may sound impressive right here may be changing quickly once we get to the early voting numbers, and that will be a while. Jamie Ball is telling us, she's the chairman of the Election Commission office. She says that folks are still in the line, so they will not be releasing early voting numbers just yet till those folks get on through and get their votes tallied. We do have a thunderstorm brewing. We have some watches and warnings in the region. We'll check those for you here in just a second and get you up to speed on what's happening there. Susan, would you like to repeat maybe a district or two that you have there at your table, please?
Yes, absolutely. Jim just gave us some numbers from the National Guard Armory. That's going to be in District 3. The numbers that I have here, these are totals. Of course, this does not include early votes. Let's remember that. So the District 3 totals without early voting is Jessica Childress at 203, Brandon Johnson with 385. That property assessor's race is going to have Marie Ayers at 159, Clark Ford at 22, and Brandon Parton at 414. And Jim, I'm getting some information here that people are being let into the Election Commission, so that must mean that voting has concluded for the night. We hope to have those early voting numbers very soon now that our reporter can get in there.
Thank you for that, Susan. Nancy, of course, Nancy Bright, our reporter at the Election Commission office. Just checking the latest. There's only one watch that is effective for us here in Campbell County at this hour. We've had some loud thunder these last few minutes here in the neighborhood, and some very loud thunder a time or two there. We have a flood watch, and that's been extended. That's going to run till 8 o'clock on Friday night. Obviously, we have a lot of areas where the ground is very saturated and more rain on the way. That will easily prompt some more flooding, but a flood watch is in effect all the way through now, 8 p.m. Friday. So we have really good chances of rain on Friday, but as of right now, no watches or warnings in effect for us here in Campbell County except that flood watch that we just mentioned. So, Susan, we're hoping we can get some numbers in here pretty soon on those early voting numbers, and that will dramatically change what we're seeing so far. There may be some more separation in some of these races as we have several incumbents, and we have one race, the District 3 race, with no incumbent. Johnny Burge, of course, stepped away. He has other plans as he's retiring from the school board after 20 years of service. And Johnny, thank you for your service to Campbell County and the school system. Nothing heard yet so far from District 5. That's Ryan Cummins, Bob Walden vying for that spot there. That is the seat held by Steve Morgan. Steve, we thank you for your service as well. He's stepping away from the school board, and there will be a new school board member there in District 5. It is Election Coverage 2024 here on WLAF. Let's mention to you that we do have all the district numbers from District 2 in so far. District 2, College Hill, East La Follette Elementary, Brent Lester 273 in the school board race there. Marvin Rutherford 149, Lester 273, Rutherford 149, and the property assessors race through all those precincts, not the early voting in there yet. Marie Ayers 128, Clark Ford 18, Brandon Parton 295. That's Ayers 128, Ford 18, and Brandon Parton 295. We had the Valley View totals for you just a minute ago. That's certainly a big precinct there. Charlotte Underwood, our reporter there. Thank you, Charlotte, as always. The property assessor's race, it is Ayers with 101 at Valley View, and then Clark Ford with 18. Ford with 18, Brandon Parton 217. Parton is the incumbent in that mix. Parton 217 at Valley View. District 1 Valley View numbers, 164 for Sherry Chapman, the challenger. Chapman 164, Lisa Fields 159, Fields with 159 at Valley View. And we had quite the flurry there, and we'll have some more flurries here this evening as we work our way toward totals. We are just after 8:30 here on Election Night 2024. And Dennis, this is a time, you as a candidate, not so much this year, yes, but you're probably kind of getting a little anxious, I guess, hearing a few numbers and not everything total just yet.
And you're sitting over the calculator trying to add everything up to see where you're at, and you kind of know what districts or what precincts have come in, what hasn't come in. So I'm sure they've got everything tallying them up right now.
Trying to kind of give yourself a little confidence, I guess, there at the house on the couch.
That's right.
What is your strategy or game plan, I guess, on election night? Do you have friends, family, supporters that may go to many of the precincts for you to kind of give you a little feel of what's happening, or do you bother with that?
You know, some people do that, but I never did. I tune in to you guys, and we just have friends and family at our home, and we're sitting there watching you and counting everything up, and or at the headquarters, one of the two, and we're counting everything up and looking at it. I know some people do that. Some people go to the election commission and try to get in there, but I just never did want to do that because I know that they have a tough job, and I don't want to interfere with them in any way. So I stay away from that, and I count on you to give me the results.
Better come through for you. Well, that's kind of a Super Bowl night, I guess, at the Election Commission office. They've prepared, they've worked to get to that point, and everybody, all hands on deck that night. A pretty hectic night for them.
Right, and I never did really quite understand why everybody goes there and congregates, and I would rather just hear it from you and hear it once, because they're going to report, to you as soon as they get the results. So I just always felt more comfortable letting them do their job and trying to stay out of their way.
Kind of maybe take a little the angst out of it for you, at least maybe by staying away from not being in the fray there.
Right. Because you might learn the results 5 or 10 minutes earlier, but it's not going to change the results anyway, because the only poll, as we know, that counts is the one on election day. So you're not really going to change anything, but maybe get them 5 or 10 minutes early.
You know, early voting is something it's become commonplace now, but that has changed the face of voting, really, when you stop and look at it.
Yeah, and we have, we're the #1 state in election integrity and have been for 3 years in a row now. And we're very proud of that, of what we're doing. But we do not do ballot harvesting. We do not do the drop-in boxes. We don't do the mail-out votes to everybody. But we do like to have early voting, and we have 14 days of it, and really proud of that. I think that allows a lot of people that would not normally be able to get to the poll for one reason or another to get there, and plus, of course, a full day of voting today. But we want everybody to be able to participate, and early voting, I think, is the best way to do it, rather than just mailing out a ballot and then trying to harvest those in.
Well, it's made almost as easy as it possibly can be, I guess, to get you, have a chance for you to cast your ballot in those 14 days, or 15 days counting today.
And sure, and there might be a circumstance where you're going to be out of town for a month on a job or whatever, then you can cast a vote by mail if you have a circumstance like that. So we try to make it let everybody make it accessible to everyone.
Well, it's a chance for a guy like me to procrastinate some too. So,
well, that's true. Yeah, I know. A lot of people voted late. I remember on Saturday, the last day of early voting, and they said it was really a big day for them because everybody had waited till the last day.
It was. I didn't procrastinate this time. I voted early the very first day. More numbers coming in. Susan Sharp has those totals. Susan, go ahead.
All right, Jim, thank you. We've got some District 4 numbers. These are going to be out of the Ridgewood precinct. In your school board race, Josh James at 57 and Jamie Wheeler at 59. That's some close numbers, folks. Yes, Dennis, a barn burner. The assessor race, you've got Marie Ayers at 46, Clark Ford at 3, and Brandon Parton at 79. Tennessee Senate District 12, Tina Hedrick at 16, Ken Yager, the incumbent, at 85. And the United States Senate Republican, Marsha Blackburn at 98, Trey Whittem at 9, Ron Dilbeck getting 116 of those complimentary votes, and Dennis Powers, one of our guests tonight, coming in at 93 votes. Again, that's going to be District 4, that's the Ridgewood precinct, and we do have those numbers in. Let me give you some other totals in case you missed earlier. Alder Springs, this is going to be in that district. We've got Sherry Chapman, District 1 School Board at 12, Lisa Fields at 63, Property Assessors race, Marie Ayers at 31, Clark Ford at 2, and Brandon Parton at 41. Tennessee Senate District 12, Tina Hedrick is 10, Ken Yager is 60, United States Senate Republican, Blackburn at 65, Whittem at 3, United States Senate Democratic, Bradshaw 0, Brown 0, Gloria Johnson 3, and Sybil Watkins at 0. Ron Dilbeck getting 69 and Dennis 67 in that District 1 Alder Springs precinct. We do hope to be getting some totals from the Election Commission soon. We can also look at District 2, La Follette Elementary. District 2 School Board, Brent Lester, 163. That's going to be your incumbent. Marvin Rutherford at 74. Property Assessors race, Marie Ayers at 76. Clark Ford at 10, and Brandon Parton at 157. Tennessee Senate District 12, Tina Hedrick is 19, Ken Yager is 155. United States Senate Republican, Marsha Blackburn 159, Trey Whittem at 10, Ron Dilbeck, our current road superintendent, running unopposed at 219, and Dennis Powers, our state representative, unopposed at 165. And I believe Jim has just been handed some totals, so I'm going to pitch it back over to him.
Susan, we have 4th District totals, all the precincts except Clinchmore. That includes Carrollville, Jacksboro, Ridgewood, District 4 subtotals in the school board race, and it stays tight. Josh James, the incumbent, 259. James, 259. Jamie Wheeler, 295. Wheeler, 295. This is District 4, all precincts except Clinchmore and early voting. James, 259. Wheeler, 295. To the assessor of property, Marie Ayers, 179. Ayers, 179. Clark Ford, 27. Ford to 27. And Brandon Parton, the incumbent, 368. Parton, 368. That's Ayers, 179. Ford 27, and Parton 368. And Dennis, this District 4 school board race is going to go right down to the last vote, looks like, at least at this stage.
Yeah, it does. It looks like it's going to be tighter than Timmy and Lassie to this voting. When it all comes right down to it, it's going to be a nail biter.
There are a lot of people watching who have no clue who Timmy and Lassie are.
That's true.
You do know that, don't you?
I know, but anytime Lassie would bark, he said, "It's Timmy and the whale."
And some folks watching don't know who the Beatles were.
That's true. We do, unfortunately or unfortunately.
Yeah, I think that says something. And Big O's Cumberland, some more numbers here, winning the hot dog war. Final tallies coming in this morning: 2,848 for Cumberland Big O's and 2,721 for Big O's Valley. They went back and forth a time or two there with the leads.
And I do have an update. Big O's in the Valley, they have hired the hot dog champion to come in next year and work at their place for a while until the guy that ate all the hot dogs, he ate 200 or something.
How about Joey Chestnut?
Is that his name?
Okay. Well, that's the one I'm thinking about.
Okay, it probably is. Yeah,
he didn't get to participate
this year. But
okay, so
he's going to.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they're going to be up there eating. No, I'm not.
I bought it.
No, you did.
Yeah, politician
sold
me.
This has not been certified by the Secretary of State yet, so we don't have an official result.
One of the trophies already down at Cumberland.
Oh, has it really? Okay,
yeah. Trophies sitting on the counter down there. Yeah,
well, there could be a lawsuit over that.
Could be. Big O's Valley, Big O's Cumberland. Big O is one of our great sponsors here at WLAF and has been for many, many years. Still waiting for more totals to come in for you tonight. It's Election Coverage 2024 here on WLAF. We're glad you're along, however you may be listening or watching. Noah Smith says he's watching tonight. Where did he say he is? Is he in West Palm Beach?
Yeah,
Let's check that. West Palm Beach, Florida, with my feet up on the desk. No, he didn't say that. At the Delta, he's at the Delta Airlines Flight Academy. He's moving back home in March. Okay, good stuff, Noah. Fantastic. Wow. Just hearing from our friend John Blankenship in Jellicoe, WJJT, he tells us that he's not getting anything just yet. They have not released anything. He has a couple of reporters at Precincts in Jellicoe and I think over at Newcomb. And as soon as we hear something from Jellicoe in that neighborhood, we'll let you know as well. And John, you're probably tuned in here too, so call in and get some totals from the folks here at the front desk if you'd like to do that. Election Coverage 2024, we're going to take our short billboard break and thank our sponsors. Back here in just a shake with a few more totals for you on WLAF. Election Coverage 2024 is presented by WLAF and these outstanding corporate partners: Alco Builders and Realty, Bird Screen Printing, Community Trust Bank, Quality Lawn Sales and Service, La Follette Utilities Board, Local Realtor Gage Dopel, La Follette Mine Supply, Lithocraft Printing and Office Supplies, Smith Metals and Dock Sales, Southern Sass Boutique, First National Bank, Robbins Guttering Roofing and Siding, Deal Small Engine and Distributing, Tennessee College of Applied Technology, TCAT, Attorney Greg Leach, Campbell County Mayor Jack Lynch, Collectibles and more, People's Bank of the South, Dave's Lawnmower Parts and Service, Gamble Motors, and by Winder Furniture, WLAF, AMFMTV, and .com. It is Election Coverage 2024 here on WLAF, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. We'll be here till the last vote is counted. Susan Sharp is here. She's already jinxed us twice tonight, so this won't be a quick finish, looks like, based on that.
I know better. I've been doing this over 20 years. I know better, so I apologize for that.
We're still waiting on the 5th District precincts. We've not heard a word there, and, of course, we have had a reporter tonight. Well, maybe you did have some fifth. Did you have the La Follette Recreation Center numbers?
Yes, I had a very, very small number from the La Follette Recreation Center. Let me dig that back out of the stack here.
So Dennis, we do have one of those precincts. I stand corrected there.
Here you go, Jim.
Okay, thank you. This is La Follette Recreation Center there, the gym under the library on South 9th Street. And just a handful of votes cast there. Bob Walden with 9. Ryan Cummins with 6. That's the school board race there. That's to fill Steve Morgan's post. He's not going to come back on the school board this next term. Not running. Cummins with 6. Bob Walden with 9. Assessor of Property Race, Parton with 11, and Ayers with 4, and Clark Ford with 1. So very, very simple there. Brandon Parton with 11, Clark Ford with 1, and 4 votes for Marie Ayers at the La Follette Recreation Center, also known as the library. The complimentary votes for Ron Dilbeck, the road superintendent, 15, and the 13 complimentary votes for Dennis Powers, who's one of our guests here tonight, and we certainly appreciate Ron Dilbeck and Robbie Goins for coming along tonight, being a part of this here at WLAF. Early voting numbers totaling more than 2,600. That may change some of these races big time. You never know.
It could, and of course we're still waiting on those early vote numbers, Jim.
Well, I know that in times past we've gotten those early voting numbers fairly early, and sometimes we do not long after 8 o'clock. That almost really just sets the whole tempo for the rest of the race. There have been times, maybe say 14 races, and probably 12 or 13 have gone just exactly like the early voting had gone.
Well, I think the fact that at 8 o'clock we still had people in line to vote shows that there's been a lot of interest in this election. It's an off year. We've only had 5 school board seats. We had 1 countywide that was opposed, but at 8 o'clock we still had people in line waiting to vote. So I think a lot of people have turned out for this.
Well, they've turned out on the hottest day of the year, that's for sure. Maybe not temperature-wise, but certainly the feels like temperature today. We right there at 100 degrees, maybe a shade above that.
I told you earlier, it felt like you could go outside and scoop the air up in a cup. I hate it.
Gulf Coast weather at its best. But did you take part in the hot dog wars at Big O's these last few weeks?
I didn't. I'm sorry. I just didn't make it. I love a hot dog, but I just...
Must be a guy thing, I guess. A lot of us guys certainly took advantage of that.
Well, I'd lie and say, I like to eat healthy, but you watch me eat lunch every day, and that's not it. I just didn't get a chance to go by, but I do love a good hot dog.
Now, Matthew Moore stuffed the ballot box yesterday. He wound up, I'm not sure if he ate 3 or 6 hot dogs, and I think all those came from Cumberland. So he had a hand in Cumberland's victory there. And Susan, you have some more numbers for us here.
I have those ever popular early vote numbers. We now have those. So here we go. These are our early vote numbers. District 1 School Board, Sherry Chapman, the challenger at 195. Lisa Fields, our incumbent, at 162. District 2 School Board, Brent Lester, the incumbent, at 170. Marvin Rutherford, 134. District 3 School Board, Jessica Childress, 299. Brandon Johnson at 354. Again, neither one of those were the incumbent. District 4 School Board, Josh James, 302. Jamie Wheeler at 279, Wheeler being the challenger. Property assessor race, Marie Ayers, 675. Clark Ford, 87. Brandon Parton with a whopping 1,700 in early voting, Jim.
For the incumbent.
Incumbent. Tennessee Senate District 12, Tina Hedrick at 254. Ken Yager, he's got a whopping number right here, 1,697. United States Senate Republican, Marsha Blackburn at 1,734. Trey Whittam at 174. United States Senate District Democrat, Bradshaw at 38, Brown at 13, Gloria Johnson with 164, Sybil Watkins with 15, and large number of complimentary votes here for our 2 guests tonight. Ron Dilbeck at 2,113. He deserves every one of those after the other night.
Oh, no doubt.
And Dennis Powers, our state rep, 1,812. Again, those are going to be your early vote numbers, Jim.
Thanks, Susan. Let's pass along. We have a one to call here. This is District 2. We have all the precincts and now the early voting. The incumbent, Brent Lester, with 443 votes. He's going back into office. Marvin Rutherford, 283. Rutherford, 283. Lester with 443. And 2 longtime buddies there battling for that spot in the 2nd District. Again, they were both good with whichever came out the winner. And tonight it's Brent Lester with 443. Marvin Rutherford, 283. That is the final. All 3 precincts as well as early voting involved in those numbers there from District 2.
And I'll say this, when we did our candidates forum back in April, Marvin and Brent came in, and I don't think we had any more fun than we had with the 2 of them. They were so good-natured about the race. They said, whoever wins is fine. We're still going to be friends. but we're going to do this.
I'm not sure. I think they may have driven in together, but
I think they did.
Yeah,
I know
so,
they went to lunch afterwards. This is a
Yeah.
good time to mention we invite all the candidates by the studio once the numbers are in. Win, lose, you're welcome to come up, sit down with us for a few minutes, and speak directly to the voters.
And you may do that. And we can also get you live on the telephone if you'll call in. We can work through that as well. Matthew Moore, our resident genius, has all that figured out for us. But again, it would be more fun if you came on by the studio here at WLAF on North 5th Street, and we'll try to find a parking spot for you out front there as we welcome you to come on in. I think the rain maybe has eased up here just a little bit. We're still waiting on more totals, but the early voting numbers, let's go through those again. I'll run through those this time if you like. And again, this gives a lot of flavor to the entire race, really, when you get right down to it. Gives you an idea of just how everything is shaking out. The rest of the districts coming in and precincts actually from the early voting. And let's go to early voting District 1 School Board. This is Sherry Chapman and Lisa Fields. Chapman, the challenger, 195. Fields, the incumbent, 162. This is early voting. Chapman, 195. Fields, 162. As we mentioned earlier, the Lester-Rutherford race in District 2 has been finished up. Lester with 170 in early voting, Rutherford 134 in early voting. And let's let you get to your numbers there because that's going to be more current than this, obviously.
Okay, well, what we have, let's do some absentee numbers. District 1 School Board, Sherry Chapman, 9. Lisa Fields at 9. Again, these are going to be your absentee votes. District 2 School Board, Brent Lester, 15. Marvin Rutherford, 16. District 3 School Board, Jessica Childress at 9. Brandon Johnson with 112. With 12. District 4 School Board, Josh James is 7. Jamie Wheeler at 13. District 5 School Board, Ryan Cummins, 16. Bob Walden, 2. Again, these are going to be the absentee numbers. Marie Ayers, 32. Clark Ford, 10. Brandon Parton, 71. Ron Dilbeck with 90. And Dennis Powers with 45 of those complimentary votes, Jim.
Wow, got to feel good about that.
Yes, again, that's going to be absentee voting. What we're getting now are these District 2 and 3 totals. I believe you just read off District 2 total. Brent Lester, 458, and Marvin Rutherford, 299. District 3 School Board, Jessica Childress, 511, and Brandon Johnson at 751. And that we are being told these are totals for these districts.
Okay, I was off a number or two. I guess the absentees are in there, but let's go ahead and tell you our official winners, or unofficial, where we're concerned. They'll be validated, of course, by the board, the Election Commission office. This is District 3 for School Board. The winner, Brandon Johnson, 751. Jessica Childress, 511, 751 for Johnson. Childress with 511 votes. And we told you earlier that Brent Lester keeps his seat on the school board, District 2, 458 votes. Marvin Rutherford, 299. Rutherford, 299. Lester, 458. And those are we have now winners in Districts 2 and 3, still waiting on 1, 4, and 5.
And I hope those will be coming soon. I do want to go ahead and say again, win, lose, we invite you to come up. If it's raining, we'll get Bill Waddell to go out with an umbrella, won't we, and walk them in.
We will.
Will we? I don't know. Maybe, hopefully.
If he has a cup of coffee, you might bribe him to get out there on that. Let's take just a short break and mention another great thank you to our sponsors, all making this possible tonight. Election Coverage 2024 here on WLAF. Election Coverage 2024 is presented by WLAF and these outstanding corporate partners: Alco Builders and Realty, Bird Screen Printing, Community Trust Bank, Quality Lawn Sales and Service, La Follette Utilities Board, Local Realtor Gage Dopel, La Follette Mine Supply, Lithocraft Printing and Office Supplies, Smith Metals and Dock Sales, Southern Sass Boutique, First National Bank, Robbins Guttering Roofing and Siding, Deal Small Engine and Distributing, Tennessee College of Applied Technology, TCAT, Attorney Greg Leach, Campbell County Mayor Jack Lynch, Collectibles and more, People's Bank of the South, Dave's Lawnmower Parts and Service, Gamble Motors, and by Winder Furniture, WLAF, AMFMTV, and .com. It is election coverage 2024 here on WLAF. We think we're going to be hearing from Marvin Rutherford here in just a moment. This will be kind of the old-fashioned way here in just a moment on WLAF. Marvin Rutherford falling to his friend Brent Lester in District 2, the school board race there. Let's see what we're hearing here. Okay, we have that number. Thank you for that. Okay, good deal. I think we have Marvin on the line. And we can always just do a still shot on, okay, you have him on that line there. Okay, very good, thank you. Is the speaker on that? It is?
No, I don't think it is.
Okay. You'll have to help me through that. Thank you. Yes, very good. Marvin, thank you so much for checking in with us tonight. You ran a great campaign. You've been in this situation before and fallen to one of your best buddies there, Brent Lester.
You know, I think Brent's a good man, and I think he'll do a good job. And me and him goes way back. If he needs anything, let me know, and I can congratulate him on his win.
Well, Marvin, thank you so much for checking in with us. And you ran a great race, and it's always good having you around and getting a chance to visit with you here every now and then now.
I thank you for all you've done for me.
All right.
I appreciate everybody and all my voters out there, and I will be back.
Very good. Very good, Marvin. We'll hold you to it, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Marvin Rutherford, he falls tonight to Brent Lester, and the final on that, Lester coming away the win, 458 for Brent Lester, the incumbent, 299 votes for Marvin Rutherford. Marvin, we appreciate you giving us a call there. But, Susan, it's gone by fairly quickly. We're about an hour and a half in. We started at 7:30 tonight, so we're right at 9 o'clock here. And so maybe by 9:30, you never know.
Okay, now you're jinxing us.
I did, yes.
You do. Well, you know, we've tonight so far we've been lucky. We've had some great guests in. We have had some numbers come in. We've had some terrible thunderclaps, and we lived through those. Just so everybody knows, we won't lose power. We have a generator.
We do, thanks to our dear friend Kenny Baird. He's the man who helped spearhead that for us. And Kenny, thank you. Sending some numbers here to Senator Ken Yager there, so excuse me for that. It is the WLAF election coverage 2024. And thanks to all those wonderful folks who step out and help us keep doing what we do here at WLAF. Many of you on the broadcast tonight, and lots of you on the radio every day with us, or the TV or the website, whatever it may be. We want to say thank you, a chance for us to do that here tonight. We do that on occasion. Don't do it often enough, I guess, but we have some folks who are really just they're right there with us, supporting us every step of the way, keeping us going here.
We absolutely do. We have some great people who partner with us. We have an amazing staff that helps us on nights like this. I have to give a shout out to Nancy Bright for this set. She is the one who came in, designed this, took care of it. Bees Flowers, giving us some plants to add some greenery. If it was left to Jim and I, we would be here with a table and 2 chairs. So a big thank you to Nancy for making us look nice tonight.
Yeah, we did bring the table and 2 chairs.
We did, didn't we?
And this is thanks to our friend Tom and Tommy Robards at Winder Furniture. And in fact, everything in here from Winder Furniture. Tom, thank you as always, Tom and Tommy. And we have one more sheet coming in. Come ahead, Lindsay. Thank you. Lindsay Hudson-Suttles, always here to help us, whatever it may be, following up on a story, writing a story, covering a meeting. And we have 6 precincts reporting so far. So this is a subtotal here, just to give you some more numbers. 6 precincts, and this we'll start here with District 5. Well, we don't have 6 precincts in there. Okay, we barely have one. That's the West La Follette Recreation Center precinct. Let's start with District 4. Josh James, the incumbent, 202 through 6 precincts. Jamie Wheeler, 236 votes through 6 precincts. And again, some of these are involving a couple of precincts that involve the school board races, and some that don't, obviously. Josh James, 202, Jamie Wheeler, 236. In the District 3 school board race, 6 precincts coming in. Brandon Johnson, 273. He's already been declared a winner tonight here on WLAF. Brandon Johnson, 273. Jessica Childress, 153, with a limited amount of precincts there. Brent Lester already declared a winner in District 2, 79 votes for Brent Lester. Marvin Rutherford, 52 votes through the portion of precincts that we have here on this tally sheet. District 1, Sherry Chapman, the incumbent, 44 votes. Lisa Fields, the incumbent. Chapman, the challenger. Fields, 46 votes. Chapman 44, and then 988 complimentary votes for Road Superintendent Ron Dilbeck, 825 complimentary votes for Dennis Powers, and then the property assessor's race. This is with 6 precincts, and again, this pales in comparison to what we brought you a moment ago with the early voting, but it's Ayers with 326, Marie Ayers 326, Clark Ford 53 votes, and Brandon Parton 739, but the early voting, again, kind of sets the pace, and it's still tight tonight with regard to a couple of these races. We have already told you that Brent Lester is going to maintain his 2nd District School Board seat, and then Brandon Johnson, a newcomer, will be in that District 3 School Board seat in place of Johnny Burge, who has stepped away after 20 years on the board. And Johnny, again, we thank you for your service to our school system, our county, and our community. But that's where that stands right now. So 2 winners declared so far tonight, and we'll have more very soon, we hope, as the evening goes along. We talked about this assessor of property race. This is similar to what we've seen so far tonight through the precincts with the early voting numbers. Parton has led pretty much, I think, in every precinct. There were a couple of close precincts, but here he's has a commanding edge, at least in the early voting portion of the race.
And I have just been contacted by Marie Ayers. She's going to be calling in just a minute. She had wanted to say something. So
Okay.
we're waiting on that call right now.
Okay, well, let's see, Matthew, if we can see if there's any way to bring that through the way that we used early tonight. If that's possible, that would be good. And still looking, thought we might be getting something there, but not the case.
I think we're going to do it the old-fashioned way. I think Marie's just going to call my phone, Jim.
That's good enough. Okay, let's go with that.
So it's just as soon as she calls in, we'll get her on the line.
Okay, let's take a 30-second break, and we'll come right back with Marie Ayers, candidate in the property assessor's race here on WLAF. Election Coverage 2024 is presented by WLAF and these outstanding corporate partners: Alco Builders and Realty, Bird Screen Printing, Community Trust Bank, Quality Lawn Sales and Service, La Follette Utilities Board, Local Realtor Gage Dopel, La Follette Mine Supply, Lithocraft Printing and Office Supplies, Smith Metals and Dock Sales, Southern Sass Boutique, First National Bank, Robbins Guttering Roofing and Siding, Deal Small Engine and Distributing, Tennessee Cotton and more, People's Bank of the South, Dave's Lawnmower Parts and Service, Gamble Motors, and by Winder Furniture, WLAF, AMFM.TV, and .com.
All right, and we are back with election coverage for 2024, sitting here with our state representative, Dennis Powers, who just tell me about an accomplishment. And what was that, Dennis?
Well, we have 99 state representatives, and I've got the 4th largest number of complimentary votes, and I appreciate that. I'm so grateful for everybody that came out and everybody that supported me. It's an honor to get to serve our area.
Well, we feel honored to get to have you here tonight. Obviously, you are loved by this community.
Well, thank you.
So let's talk just for a second before you leave.
Well, thank you.
So let's talk just for a second before you leave. You sponsored a piece of legislation that's very important as far as legal notices. Can you give us just like a 30-second story about that and tell us what happened?
Sure, yeah. Well, it's briefly, and we've got a little cleanup to do when I go back next year, but it briefly says that legal notices will also be posted on any online publication within the county, as long as they have certain qualifications, they have a county office and everything. It's just an addition to the newspapers that normally have them. And the reason we wanted to do that, because so many people now get their news online, especially younger voters too, this younger population, and a lot of people don't do the traditional newspapers anymore. Some do, but it's just another option to make sure that everybody is well informed, and I think it'll go through next year with no problem.
Well, we at WLAF thank you for that, because we started running those legal notices at the beginning of the month, and we've had a tremendous response. So thank you. I believe you want to say good night for the evening?
I do. I just want to say good night and thank everybody for the support. I was born and raised here in La Follette, and born the same year as WLAF. So.
Oh wow!
I know.
Two classics.
That kind of threw.
Two classics.
I know, but it's just an honor to get to serve and to grow up here and and to get to know so many people. And I'm really honored to get to do this. So,
all right.
So thank you all for having me up here tonight.
Dennis, thank you. A pleasure
Appreciate
as
it.
always.
Thank
We actually have our first candidate to come
I see him right
speak
now.
to the voters. So I'm going to let you two just swap out real quick.
We'll do
if
it.
you all will do this.
All right.
We actually have Brandon Johnson, the winner of the 3rd District School Board seat. He has come up here to talk to us. Brandon, come on over here and have a seat.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, I didn't throw up today, so we'll
there's
mark
a win.
that down
That's
as
a win.
as an accomplishment, because all day long I thought I was going to. So, but no, I am just overjoyed and incredibly, incredibly appreciative. There's no other way to say it, Susan.
Well, you ran a great race.
Thank you. We put our entire heart and soul into it. My family really stepped up. Kaylee Queener really stepped up.
You
My
have
brother,
to mention her, you're in trouble.
Exactly. I have to, or I'll get my head chopped off. But no, my whole family and really the community.
Mm-hmm.
It's people that I may have never even met before that just stood up and had words of kindness and support, and it's just an honor, really. And it's not really set in yet, but I'm flattered, and I'm just excited to get to work.
Do you feel like you can finally eat something now?
Maybe like tomorrow. I don't know how tonight's going to go. We'll see. I stayed up almost all night. You're just worried. And
Of course.
Everybody should run for office once. Get out there, try it, do something. No, you should. And spend advertising money with WLAF, because
Yes,
that's what
do
winning
that.
candidates
Yes.
do.
Say that again. Could you
That's
please?
what. But no, everybody should run for office once, because it really tests you. I thought being a business owner and doing things in the community would test you, but nothing tests you like an election does. You almost become fixated on it, and you're constantly working and you're constantly trying to do things, and you constantly feel like you're behind. And the voters trusted me with right at 60% of the vote, which is just a huge honor and something I really never expected. So.
Well, you had a lot of ideas, a lot of points, talking points in your campaign. Which one do you want to tackle first?
The crux, when people look back at my time on the school board, I want them to realize that I have fought for the students that nobody else fights for. So just like the kids in my Special Olympics program that I feel in so many ways in our community, in the world in general, and even here in our local schools get forgotten about, I want them to look back and say Brandon Johnson was an advocate for the kids that nobody else was.
You feel very passionate about that population.
I do. That's where my heart is. I probably missed a calling to go and work with individuals with intellectual disabilities. But even just today at the polling precincts, the parents were rolling in and they were taking their kid, sometimes young, sometimes adult, with them into the polling station. And you could just see, it bring tears to your eyes, because these kids and these adults appreciate what I do. And I appreciate their bravery, their willingness to get out there, their integrity. They don't care about who wins and loses. They care about getting out there and trying something new. And these are the types of kids, Susan, that I want to fight for. I want to fight for faculty members and staff members. I want to fight for every single person in our school system who feels left behind and forgotten. And that's been the crux of my campaign. And obviously the voters in the 3rd District feel like we have too many people that are left behind, and we're going to work to change that.
Well, hopefully that's something that can catch on throughout the community.
I agree. Well, it seems like when you shine light on something, just like we did with the Caryville Cares Playground, the community tends to rally and support behind it. Mm-hmm. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to magnify every element of our school system that needs work. I think we have a wonderful school system. I think we have a passionate director of schools. I think we've got a lot of really good school board members and administrators, but I think there's things that we need to improve. And I'm excited. Tomorrow, I'm excited to get to work. Nothing's going to slow me down.
Tomorrow, before you're even sworn in.
Hey, listen, I can go ahead, start meeting with administrators, seeing how I can help them. And I want to be the type of school board member, Susan, who doesn't say, hey, here's how to fix the problem. That's not my role, I don't think. My role is to be a cheerleader and a supporter and a problem solver. And I want the administrators, the teachers, the staff members, the students to be able to have a platform to say, hey, Brandon, here's our problem. Can you help us fix it?
I want to be a safe space.
Yeah, really. I don't know if I like that term because of all the negative connotation with it.
It's not negative.
But I want people to have confidence in me that, hey, if we have a problem, I think Brandon can help us solve that. And that's the goal.
Well, you've been very active in the community from, I say a young age. You're still relatively young now, but from an even younger age. So you've always been passionate about your community, haven't you?
Listen, I love Campbell County. I had opportunities to leave here. I did leave here for college. I went to East Tennessee State. huge Go Bucks guy. Had a great education there, but if it wasn't for the foundation I got at Jacksboro Elementary, from teachers like Joan Crutchfield, if it wasn't for the education that I got at La Follette Middle School, from teachers like Tammy Teague, if it wasn't for the education that I got at Campbell County High School, from educators like Ann Browning, if it wasn't for that base, I would have never been successful in my collegiate career. And I went to East Tennessee State. Let's admit it's not Harvard, but I had a great experience there, and I had an opportunity to leave home, but I wanted to come back because I love Campbell County. I love the people here. I love the scenery. I love the industry. I think Campbell County is the best place on earth, and I can say that without a slight hesitation, and I want to do everything I can to make it better than I found it.
Well, I'm going to hand you some pom-poms because you're already one of the biggest cheerleaders I've ever seen. If you'll sit with us for just a minute, we actually have Marie Ayers calling in to talk to us. Hello, Marie. How are you?
Hey, guys. Well, I'm hot. Now I'm wet, so I'm good.
Thank you for calling in. What would you like to say?
I just want to thank everybody, the Lord above. He put me in this endeavor. It gave me the strength, the finances to make it through. Secondly, there's so many people to thank. If I started trying to name them tonight, there's no way I could do it. I'll try to do a Facebook post later. I guess I do have to thank my husband, Cody Ayers. God love him. He has set sign after sign. I don't know how many exactly. We kind of lost count. We had to put some of them up 2 times, 3 times, the storms, the vandalism, all that. But if anybody did pick up a yard sign, like from our office or any of the rallies, if you want to drop it back off at my real estate office at 1165 Toe String, that's great, but we will be out and about. So if you want us to pick it up, I don't care one bit. Just please call or text me. My cell again is 423-494-8184. We just don't want to leave any sign out in this county. That's one of my pet peeves as a Boy Scout mom. Leave it cleaner than you found it. So if you've got any of those, please let me know. But thanks to everybody that supported me, braved this heat. They got out, voted even in the heat and in the rain this evening. But thanks to everybody in Campbell County. I'll continue to support our county. I do hope that the current assessor will take the things and the information that I have and, do better for the county. The hotel motel tax, the identification of the property that's supposed to be paying it begins in that office. There is a person on the payroll, and 1/4 of their base salary comes from that office. So if it's not that office's duty, then we're paying somebody that for nothing. So they need to look into that, and I'll pass off all the information I have. That's not the kind of person I am. I just want to better the county. But I thank everybody that, supported me and got out, and God bless everybody. Thank you.
Well, Marie, thank you so much for calling in. You were very passionate in this race. You were out there, you were working, and unfortunately for you, just coming up a little bit short in these numbers, but we thank you for calling in and for everything that you've done. Be safe when you're out there tonight in that rain, pulling
Honestly,
up those signs.
Susan, it's really not unfortunate. I told many people when this started, I said, the only thing I know is God wanted me to run, and from there, I really didn't know the plan. But so many people, for my 52 years of life, they've complained, and they said, we need a change, we need this, we need that. So I put my name out there, put my money out there, my time, my energy, my whole family, my friends, and it's obvious that the voters spoke, so that's okay.
Well, again, thank you so much for calling in. We have another candidate waiting to step in here with us.
Thanks.
So thank you so much.
And one final thing I'll say. One, I made a funny face because Brent Lester is hiding
He was
behind
making
the
a funny
cameras,
face at us.
Making funny faces.
I know. He was trying to crack us up.
But I will say to Brandon Parton and Marie Ayers, thank you both and Clark Ford as well, for your willingness to put yourself out there.
Right.
I know how much stress that I felt as a candidate. It's like nothing I can ever describe. And I'm just in a district, let alone trying to run a countywide race. So thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Marie. Thank you, Clark. Putting yourself out there, working to make our county better, sharing ideas. All 3 of you guys are leaders. All 3 of you all are friends. And I'm confident that this is not the end or the beginning for anybody. I think all 3 have just immense talent. So thank you all for your willingness to lead.
Well, and I think anytime you put yourself out in a county office, you are looking at an incredible amount of work. And again, for you, those just tuning in, we just talked to Marie Ayers. Brandon Parton will go back in for another 4 years. And again, Marie, thank you for calling a very hard-fought election where she just came up a little bit short, didn't she, Brandon?
They both worked incredibly hard. And Clark, I don't know him, but from what I can tell, he's a very bright guy as well. But they worked hard. They went out there. They put themselves out there. It's a tough thing to do. I know because I just did it on a much smaller scale.
Smaller, yes.
And so thank you three for your leadership. And most importantly, in my perspective, thank you to the voters, to everybody who helped me knock on doors, who made a difference, and those who prayed for me. None of this would be possible if it wasn't for God, and for those that have supported me and decided to give me a chance. I promise I won't let you down, and I'm going to turn it over to my soon-to-be fellow board member, Mr. Lester. So.
All right. Well, Brandon, thank you so much.
You, Susan.
I appreciate it.
Good
to see you, always.
Good to see you.
Okay, and now we've got Brent Lester. He is snuck in on the other side of the studio with Jim Freeman, and I'm going to toss it over there to them. So have at it, guys.
Thank you, Susan. Brent, congratulations.
Thank you, Jim.
Yeah, you ran against one of your best buddies in this race, Marvin Rutherford.
Yeah, me and Marvin go way back. He's a good guy.
Well, you two came in for our Meet the Candidates, and I thought these guys are best friends running against each other here.
We always have a good time. So.
Well, thank you for your service to the school board. You've been in here several years, and you've had children come all the way through the system and everybody, but Bella's moved on out. She's getting ready to graduate this year.
Yeah.
But you've had a big hand in a lot of the activities throughout our county, and especially here on the school board. Congratulations.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Jim. It's just, we want to work for the kids. It's all about the kids, giving them all the opportunities we can, support the teachers, give them the tools that they need to succeed, and, give the kids everything that the other surrounding counties have. And that's my basic, principle on the school board is our kids deserve the same as everybody else. So I'll always fight for that. So.
Well, how much, I know you had a lot of signs out. You and Will are out picking up signs tonight, trying to beat the rain there and stay away from
it. Yeah, we're out.
Yeah. About this race, obviously running against Marvin, your buddy, a friendly race.
It was a good race, and I expected it to be, so. I think when you're out running like that, if you keep it civil, and like I said, we go back, so, there's no negative stuff needed to be said. The voters know what they want to do, and they just look at your records.
Right.
And they go from there. But, Marvin's a great guy. He ran a good race. And, thank Marvin for running a good race like that.
Okay. Well, you're an old football star, Jacksboro and Campbell County High School. Let's talk a little football. Mark Pemberton's the new coach, and I've been to a lot of practices, been around Coach a lot. He's fantastic. Have you been to many practices yet?
No, but I've watched a lot of their videos and, talked to a lot of the kids that play for him, and they think very highly of the coach. And so I'm very excited. Some of the practice videos that I've watched, the techniques there, they're looking good. So I'm excited. It's going to be a different style of football. But, I think we're going to be in great shape.
Well, I'm excited. We have a scrimmage on Saturday night. The Cleveland Blue Raiders, that's a 6A team, will come in and take on the Cougars at Reynolds Field. If you can get there, come out and see first chance to see the Cougars under Mark Pemberton. This is the 50th season of Cougar football.
Season.
Yeah.
It sure is. My oldest brother, Stan, was the first quarterback at Campbell County.
That's right, the 1975 season.
Yep.
I was at that very first game.
Yep. My son, Wills, played against Coach Pemberton when he was at Ray County. And he can tell you it's pretty tough offense to stop. So it's going to be exciting, and it's going to be fun to watch. So.
Well, would you like to maybe pass along a thanks to Lisa and your family and your friends
Absolutely.
who came out and worked through this summer with you?
I do. I had a lot of support during this campaign. I didn't get out and meet as many people as I normally do during a campaign with some things going on at work. But I do want to thank all the voters. My wife Lisa, my kids Chloe, Will, and Bella, my sisters that worked a poll for me today. It just means a lot to have the support that I've got. So,
Well, thanks for taking time for us tonight.
Well, thanks for having me, Jim.
Glad to have it. Brent, best of luck. You know we're here. Whatever we can do to help you and support the school system, we're here.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Brent Lester winning District 2. He'll keep that seat there. Now let's go to Susan Sharp. She has 18 of 23 precincts to tell us about. Susan?
All right, thank you, Jim. This is 18 of 23 precincts. This is going to include absentee and early votes. District 1, School Board, Sherry Chapman, 297. Lisa Fields, 331. District 2 School Board, who we just saw in here, Brent Lester at 110. Marvin Rutherford, 75. District 3 School Board, Jessica Childress, 203. Brandon Johnson, 385. District 4 School Board, Josh James, 259. Jamie Wheeler, 295. District 5 School Board, Ryan Cummins at 177 and Bob Walden at 130. That is the seat vacated by Steve Morgan. In the assessor's race with 18 of 23 precincts, including absentee and early voting, Marie Ayers, 725, Clark Ford, 103, Brandon Parton, 1,523. And in those uncontested races, Ron Dilbeck, 2,046, and Dennis Powers, state rep, 1,685 of those complimentary votes. We have Tennessee Senate District 12, Tina Hedrick with 236, Ken Yager, the incumbent, with 1,563, United States Senate Republican Blackburn at 1,604, Trey Whittam, 184, United States Senate Democrat Bradshaw, 48, Brown, 13, Johnson, 163, Sybil Watkins, 6. Again, this is going to be 18 of 23 precincts, including absentee and early voting. And I believe we're going to take a quick break, kind of reset the stage here, and we'll be right back. Thank you so much for watching Election Coverage 2024.
Election Coverage 2024 is presented by WLAF and these outstanding corporate partners: Alco Builders and Realty, Bird Screen Printing, Community Trust Bank, Quality Lawn Sales and Service, La Follette Utilities Board, Local Realtor Gage Dopel, La Follette Mine Supply, Lithocraft Printing and Office Supplies, Smith Metals and Dock Sales, Southern Sass Boutique, First National Bank, Robbins Guttering Roofing and Siding, Deal Small Engine and Distributing, Tennessee College of Applied Technology, TCAT, Attorney Greg Leach, Campbell County Mayor Jack Lynch, Collectibles and more, People's Bank of the South, Dave's Lawnmower Parts and Service, Gamble Motors, and by Winder Furniture. WLAF, AMFMTV, and .com. It is Election Coverage 2024 here on WLAF. Thank you for coming along tonight. We have 3 winners declared so far. That property assessor's race that probably has been the big draw. That's certainly that's a countywide race, countywide held seat there. Brandon Parton, the incumbent, is had 1,523 votes, 1,523 votes. Marie Ayers, 725. This is 18 of 23 precincts, including absentee and early voting. And then, of course, Marie Ayers kindly called us just moments ago to concede the race to incumbent Brandon Parton. In District 3, the school board race has gone to Brandon Johnson. Brandon Johnson winning tonight over Jessica Childress, both newcomers to politics. And it will be Brandon Johnson stepping into the seat vacated by Johnny Burge, who resigned, left the board after 20 years of service. Johnny, thank you for your service as he is moving ahead with other plans. And then, of course, we want to mention that Brent Lester, whom we just spoke with, saw here on the air with us, wins over his friend Marvin Rutherford in District 2. So District 2, District 3 decided already. Brent Lester stays on as the school board member there, and Brandon Johnson will take over in the District 3 school board spot come here just in a couple of weeks, well, actually probably the better part of a month to get all that finalized. We do have tight races in the District 4 school board race. Jamie Wheeler ahead of Josh James, 295 to 259, and this does not include all the precincts, but this does include absentee and early voting for District 4. That's Josh James, the incumbent, 259, Jamie Wheeler, 295 in District 4. The District 1 school board race is again tight. Lisa Fields, the incumbent in District 1, 331. Sherry Chapman, 297. Chapman, 297. Fields, 331. That's 18 of 23 precincts plus absentee and early voting. And again, we're still wanting to make sure we have all the precincts in before we declare winners in these other races. District 5 School Board, this is Ryan Cummins ahead of Bob Walden, 177 to 130. That's Ryan Cummins, Bob Walden, 177. Cummins, 130 for Bob Walden. 18 of 23 precincts reporting, including early voting and absentees. That's out of District 5. And, of course, lots of complimentary votes. Ron Dilbeck with more than 2,000 complimentary votes, 2,046. Dennis Powers, 1,685, each individual unopposed. Powers in the primary race. His general election race is in November, so he'll still need to get one more vote in November to return or stay in his spot as state representative for the 36th district. Dilbeck, this is the general election for his race. He's unopposed, and he certainly will continue in that post there as the school director, the Campbell County Road Superintendent, and he and his crew certainly with a busy week this week with the storms coming in on Tuesday and Tuesday night. Get another short break in here and reset, and back in a moment on WLAF as the election coverage 2024 continues. Election Coverage 2024 is presented by WLAF and these outstanding corporate partners: Alco Builders and Realty, Bird Screen Printing, Community Trust Bank, Quality Lawn Sales and Service, La Follette Utilities Board, Local Realtor Gage Dopel, La Follette Mine Supply, Lithocraft Printing and Office Supplies, Smith Metals and Dock Sales, Southern Sass Boutique, First National Bank, Robbins Guttering Roofing and Siding, Deal Small Engine and Distributing, Tennessee College of Applied Technology, TCAT, Attorney Greg Leach, Campbell County Mayor Jack Lynch, Collectibles and more, People's Bank of the South, Dave's Lawnmower Parts and Service, Gamble Motors, and by Winder Furniture. WLAF, AMFMTV, and .com. Thanks to all of our sponsors tonight here on WLAF Election Coverage 2024. Bees Flowers, thank you to everyone at Bees Flowers, James and Company, and Megan getting some arrangements ready for us this afternoon and on short notice. Megan, thank you for that. Bees Flowers and Big O's, we thank Big O's for providing us with what I wound up with today from Big O's, my time by there. Hot Dog Wars in the Big O's world, going to Big O's Cumberland, edging out Big O's Valley there. The totals coming in this morning. And thanks to Winder Furniture, Tom Robards and Tommy for providing a lot of what we have on the set here. And thank you for being here tonight.
Well, thank you. And again, we have to thank Nancy Bright for our set design. You and I could not have pulled this off by ourselves.
There's no doubt about that. Matthew Moore in studio. We have a host of others here helping at the studio here on North 5th Street, WLAF. Still waiting just for a few more precincts to trickle in before we can confirm who has won and where. But we've had some tight races tonight.
We have. Then we had some not so tight races. The school board races were probably the tightest we saw tonight, Jim.
No question about that, and there were times, I guess, depending on the precinct, some of those races weren't close. This District 4 race between Josh James and Jamie Wheeler is going to come down to the wires. We talked about that. At last count, this is, well, I'll tell you what we can do. We can do some numbers here. We don't have Clinchmore in just yet, and the early voting numbers. Let's see. Do you have the early voting numbers here?
They are somewhere in our stack.
Somewhere in the stack, yes.
We have several stacks tonight.
Let's.
It is not my stack. Perhaps it is yours.
Okay, let's do this. Let's go with early voting here. Well, that's still not. I'm still not going to be able to figure that out based on that. We'll keep looking for those early votes. Are they on that table over there? Maybe.
I don't believe so.
Okay. We can work on this District 4 school board race a little more if we get that early vote.
We have early votes right here, Jim.
Okay, very good. So we have, let's see.
Are we going to do math on the air? Because I'm out. I'm out if we're doing math on the air.
Can't do this one in the noggin today. Okay, so that's 302, and we're looking at 279 for. Okay, we have District 4, the school board race, Josh James, Jamie Wheeler, minus Clinchmore. It is Josh James 561, James 561, Jamie Wheeler 574. Wheeler 574, Josh James 561. That's with all the precincts except Clinchmore early voting, and I don't think I have the absentees there. The absentees
those are in our stack somewhere as well.
Let's see if we can get those, and we can get a little bit more tuned in on that one. And let's see.
On the bottom of the stack again with the absentee voting.
Okay. Should look there first.
There we go.
Because absentees. Okay, let's add those absentees. So Josh James, 561 and 7, 568 for Josh James. And Jamie Wheeler with 13. So Wheeler, 587. And Josh James, 561. That's with absentees, early voting, all precincts in District 4 except for Clinchmore. So Clinchmore, we're seeing what Matthew Moore has lined up for us here. I think he may have another interview for us. We'll see here in just a second. But this race in District 4 has been tight all night and continues to be tight. Right now, 26 votes separating Josh James and Jamie Wheeler in District 4. Still waiting for the Clinchmore numbers to come in for District 4. Tell us what we have. Johnny Burge is on the line. Okay. Johnny Burge, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Jim, and thank you for taking my call. You and Susan are doing a wonderful job, and we're all huddled up here at Burge Screen Printing, listening to the returns, and I just wanted to call in and thank the voters of the 3rd District for 24 years that I've been able to serve on the board, being elected 6 consecutive terms, and it's certainly been an honor and a privilege, and the school system, I feel, is it's in good hands, and I think everything's going well, and I just wanted to call in again and congratulate both Brandon and Jessica. They both ran hard campaigns. I seen them out working hard, and congratulate Brandon Johnson. I think he'll do a fine job on the board, and I think he has a bright future, and I certainly want to thank all the board members I've served with down through the years, and there's too many to mention, but we've always tried to do the best for the children and the school system, and I served under 8 directors also.
Wow.
Starting with Warren Headley back in 2000, and of course Miss Fields today, and I want to thank all the directors. And I talked to Brandon and Jessica. In order to be an effective board member, you've got to work with your director of schools for the best interest of everybody. And again, just thank you for taking my call, and thank the voters from the bottom of my heart. And thank my family down through the years, my wife Laura and kids that supported me, and all my family and friends, and too many. It's just been a great honor.
Well, Johnny, we have passed along thanks to you a few times on the air tonight for your service. 24 years. I've been saying 20, but I was close. 24 years, and it's not been easy. Running campaigns, trying to work a full-time job, and serve on the school board. That's quite a challenge for you and for anybody in that position.
It is. You have to be committed, and school board. It's a pretty tough job, and a lot of times, there's tough decisions to be made, and you just have to hang in there and make the best of it, and at the end of the day, try to do what's right, and hopefully the voters have been satisfied with me, and I certainly appreciate them, and just so thankful.
Well, we were going to miss you on the school board, but you've had a relaxing evening tonight, I guess, compared to the last 24 years, the last 6 terms. What is next? We know that you have requested a petition to run for mayor of La Follette. Is that going to pan out? Are you going to turn a petition back into the Election Commission office here pretty soon?
Yes, I will be doing that, and been with the city for 40 years, and retiring here in the next few months, and to vote full time to the mayor. I feel like I can serve the city well. I feel like I'm qualified, and I've worked with the city, worked with the budgets, and we've got a lot of good things going in the city. We have a wonderful city, and I just simply want to make it better. And we'll be talking about that. I look forward to getting out and seeing people in the next 2 or 3 months, and already getting a great support from people, and I certainly appreciate that, the encouragement. And it takes people. You can't do this on your own. You got to have your family and your friends behind you, and that's an important role in being successful. And I just want to make La Follette better, and that's what we're going to talk about during my campaign. And again, I look forward to that in the next few months.
Well, Johnny, we'll be meeting, crossing paths again here in November, sounds like, based on that. So we'll look forward to that.
Yes, and thanks again, and congratulations to all the winners tonight. And I think Brandon had mentioned, you put your name on the ballot. It's a lot of stress, but for all the people that put themselves out there, I want to congratulate everybody, and just hope everyone the best.
Johnny, very good. Thank you again for checking in with us tonight. We wish you the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Johnny Burge, he is stepping away as the District 3 School Board member after 6 terms, 24 years, 8 directors of schools. That's quite a career.
It was, and it was starting to sound a little bit like a farewell from Johnny, but we know that he picked up that petition. So.
Yeah, so we'll be seeing him in November for certain, I guess. And we have some more numbers coming in. Lindsay Hudson-Suttle is here. Thanks, Lynn. And Gail, thank you. Go ahead, Susan.
All right, this is 21 of 23 precincts. District 1 School Board, Sherry Chapman, 309. Lisa Fields, 394. District 2 School Board, Brent Lester, 110. Marvin Rutherford, 75. Jessica Childress in that District 3 School Board race, 203. Brandon Johnson, who was in earlier tonight, 385. District 4 School Board, 259, Josh James. Jamie Wheeler, 295. Got to be careful with those numbers transposed like that. Mm-hmm. District 5 School Board, Ryan Cummins is 354. Bob Walden at 182. Again, this is 21 of 23 precincts. Property Assessor Marie Ayers, 820. Clark Ford, 110. And Brandon Parton, 1,722. Ron Dilbeck getting 2,301 complimentary votes, and Dennis Powers 1,899 complimentary votes. Dennis was telling us earlier that of all the people in the state that were not challenged, he got the 4th highest complimentary votes as far as the state reps. So he was pretty proud of that. Yeah. He was very grateful to the district for that.
Rightfully so.
So this is 21 of 23 precincts, Jim.
Okay, and we want to go back to this District 4 School Board race. District 1, the race there is a little separation based on these numbers: 394 for Lisa Fields, the incumbent; 309 for Sherry Chapman, the challenger; 309 for Chapman; 394 for Lisa Fields. The District 4 numbers without the Clinchmore precinct. This is everything in these numbers except Clinchmore, and those numbers are yet to be here. Josh James, the incumbent, 561 for James. Jamie Wheeler, 587. 561 for Josh James, 587 for Jamie Wheeler. Unofficial numbers, that is all precincts except Clinchmore. That includes absentee and early voting, and it is election night 2024. We have 2 winners for sure declared: Brandon Johnson, Brent Lester. And that's District 2 and District 3 School Board posts. And we still have 3 more to work our way through, as the one in District 5, numbers there kind of few and far between. At last count, with 18 of 20, let's see, let's do this.
We have 21
let's get us an
23.
update here. Okay, there we go. You have more than I have, obviously. Ryan Cummins, 354. Bob Walden, 182. That is in District 5. For the school board there, that's the seat that's being vacated by Steve Morgan. Steve served a couple of nice terms, and he is stepping away from the school board. He'll leave as the director of the school board, of the chairman of the school board. Ryan Cummins, 354. Bob Walden, 182. That's 21 of 23 precincts. Now, that doesn't say anything about early voting, I guess, on this number here.
It does not. It just gives us
Okay.
our precinct count.
All right, we may see if we can verify that here in just a minute. We need to know if that's...
We'll have to get Gail back on this.
Let's do that, yes. Let's take a short break. Back in a moment. Thanks to all those of you connecting tonight to WLAF and those of you making it all possible here on WLAF. Election Coverage 2024 is presented by WLAF and these outstanding corporate partners: Alco Builders and Realty, Bird Screen Printing, Community Trust Bank, Quality Lawn Sales and Service, La Follette Utilities Board, Local Realtor Gage Dopel, La Follette Mine Supply, Lithocraft Printing and Office Supplies, Smith Metals and Dock Sales, Southern Sass Boutique, First National Bank, Robbins Guttering Roofing and Siding, Deal Small Engine and Distributing, Tennessee College of Applied Technology, TCAT, Attorney Greg Leach, Campbell County Mayor Jack Lynch, Collectibles and more, People's Bank of the South, Dave's Lawnmower Parts and Service, Gamble Motors, and by Winder Furniture, WLAF, AMFMTV, and .com. Election Coverage 2024 is presented by WLAF and these outstanding corporate partners: Alco Builders and Realty, Bird Screen Printing, Community Trust Bank, Quality Lawn Sales and Service, La Follette Utilities Board, Local Realtor Gage Dopel, La Follette Mine Supply, Lithocraft Printing and Office Supplies, Smith Metals and Dock Sales, Southern Sass Boutique, First National Bank, Robbins Guttering Roofing and Siding, Deal Small Engine and Distributing, Tennessee College of Applied Technology, TCAT, Attorney Greg Leach, Campbell County Mayor Jack Lynch, Collectibles and more, People's Bank of the South, Dave's Lawnmower Parts and Service, Gamble Motors, and by Winder Furniture, WLAF, AMFMTV, and .com. It's Election Coverage 2024 on WLAF. 21 of 23 precincts reporting. That includes early voting and absentees. Susan, this District 1 school board race continues to be tight, but Fields slipping ahead here a little further to separate herself from the challenger, Sherry Chapman.
Yes, that's going to be Lisa Fields with 394, just edging out Sherry Chapman with 309, Jim.
And we're thinking Clinchmore and perhaps Demery or maybe... well, Springs or the precincts were missing to make this all finish up. Brent Lester, well, that can't be right. Okay, that can't be right. Okay, nonetheless, Brent Lester has won. I'm not sure where 110 votes come in with 21 precincts there in early voting for that race there. But nonetheless, Brent Lester has won the District 2 school board race, and Brandon Johnson has won the District 3 school board race. Still up in the air, Susan, the District 4 school board race, and District 5 and District 1. We do have, we've kind of fine-tuned this District 4 race the best we can as we piece this together. Josh James is the incumbent in District 4, 561 votes. Jamie Wheeler, the challenger, 587 votes. Now, this includes all of the District 4 precincts except Clinchmore, early votes included in there, and absentee votes for that District 4 race. So 26 votes, the difference there that Josh James will need to make up with those Clinchmore numbers to see how that one finishes out there. But Susan, the District 5 race with 21 and 23 precincts reporting early voting and absentees so far tonight.
That's Ryan Cummins with 354 and Bob Walden at 182, Jim, in that District 5.
Cummins, 354, Bob Walden, 182. Cummins, who runs the Welcoming Center there at Jellicoe.
He does.
And Bob Walden, who is retiring from his career, a great career, Bob. We thank you for all you've done over the years. He last was the principal at La Follette Elementary School.
He was.
Finishing that career up there here just a few weeks ago. But that's how that race is shaping up in District 5.
Of course, we still don't have all those precincts in, do we?
Right. We still have need two more precincts in, and then that should wrap it up tonight. And we're still waiting for those. And there's always a straggler here or there, but we will be able to tell you who winds up being the winners here tonight. Again, we tell you that Childress and Johnson vying in District 3. Brandon Johnson is coming away the winner there. And then Brent Lester winning over Marvin Rutherford in District 2. Also tonight, Marie Ayers calling in to visit with us earlier as Brandon Parton has won. He will maintain his post as assessor of property, and he has been in that position for 4 terms, 16 years now. And Marie Ayers the challenger along with Clark Ford in that race as it goes to Brandon Parton.
This will start Brandon Parton's 5th term. Do we have any other elected official who's been elected 5 times that you can recall right off?
Well, Johnny Burge.
Well, Johnny Burge, yeah. Well, countywide.
Countywide, yes, you did say that. I wasn't, but I don't know that. I think Ron McClellan had been in 4 terms as sheriff, maybe.
Yes.
Okay, you'd have to go back to Rose Kitts probably. Jack Alexander is in those days the county executive.
Maybe Mr. Hicks that held the office previously, the property assessor's office.
Bill, I'd have to think about that one for a minute. I think he may have gone in 1990, and then of course he was succeeded by Brandon. So obviously Bill Hicks with quite a career there as the property assessor. Some names there, but Rose Kitts served, I'm not sure how many terms, but those were 2-year terms in those days for the sheriff. So a little bit different there, but nonetheless, to be reelected every 2 years, a little more of a challenge perhaps than being in there for 4 years.
Little fun fact, my great-grandfather actually served as sheriff at one point, Nicholas Grant. So, yeah.
Did not know that. Very good.
See, you learn something new all the time, all the time.
Now, what years would those have been or close to?
Oh, it was a long time ago.
Okay.
It may have been before 1900. His photo's down on the courthouse, and I really need to pay more attention to that. So.
Okay. Yeah, next time check out those dates on there.
I believe we have a winner that has just walked through the door.
Well, very good. Let's get that person in here. Let's take a quick time out. Matthew Moore is going to let us step away for just a moment and right back with our next winner to be on the air with us here on WLAF. Stay here. Election Coverage 2024 is presented by WLAF and these outstanding corporate partners: Alco Builders and Realty, Bird Screen Printing, Community Trust Bank, Quality Lawn Sales and Service, La Follette Utilities Board, Local Realtor Gage Dopel, La Follette Mine Supply, Lithocraft Printing and Office Supplies, Smith Metals and Dock Sales, Southern Sass Boutique, First National Bank, Robbins Guttering Roofing and Siding, Deal Small Engine and Distributing, Tennessee College of Applied Technology, TCAT, Attorney Greg Leach, Campbell County Mayor Jack Lynch, Collectibles and more, People's Bank of the South, Dave's Lawnmower Parts and Service, Gamble Motors, and by Winder Furniture, WLAF, AMFMTV.com. Election Coverage 2024 is presented by WLAF and these outstanding corporate partners: Alco Builders and Realty, Bird Screen Printing, Community Trust Bank, Quality Lawn Sales and Service, La Follette Utilities Board, Local Realtor Gage Dopel, La Follette Mine Supply, Lithocraft Printing and Office Supplies, Smith Metals and Dock Sales, Southern Sass Boutique, First National Bank, Robbins Guttering Roofing and Siding, Deal Small Engine and Distributing, Tennessee College of Applied Technology, TCAT, Attorney Greg Leach, Campbell County Mayor Jack Lynch, Collectibles and more, People's Bank of the South, Dave's Lawnmower Parts and Service, Gamble Motors, and by Winder Furniture, WLAF, AMFMTV.com.
And we are back with Election Coverage 2024, being joined right now by Brandon Parton, who is going to be our property assessor for the next 4 years. Congratulations, Brandon.
Thank you, Susan. And I want to thank the voters because, man, I'm telling you, I'm humbled tonight. I really am. But I don't know what to say. I'm kind of flabbergasted.
It was a hard race.
It was a tough race. It was. We ran a clean race. I strive to do that. You know me long enough to know I hate politics. Mm-hmm. I definitely dislike any type of dirty politics, and so we tried to stay away from that. This should have been about knowledge of the office, performance in the office, and the record of the office. But you know what I mean. I'm still here. I'm still proud to serve the citizens of Campbell County. Sorry, I should have. That thing's been going off all night. I'm sorry.
Okay. Little AC/DC there for us.
Hey, you got to have something I can hear,
That's
okay?
right.
When you're almost deaf in one ear, you got to have something. You know what I mean? Let me try to do
Try
this
and
way.
silence that.
Yeah.
Well, not to get too emotional, but you lost your dad during this race.
Yes.
I know you all were just very close. He was your biggest fan, probably.
Yes. He was. He was my biggest supporter. You know, it's I don't know how to say it, because I mean I'm not an emotional person. Anybody that knows me knows I'm kind of stonish. I get pretty passionate about things, but at the end of the time for the polls to close is when the storm rolled in. And that was something that Dad always loved to listen to, was the storm, lightning, and thundering. And you have had thunder here tonight.
Oh, yes.
And I've had thunder at my house, too.
Probably thunderous applause.
Well, yeah, there was a lot of that. You know, I did. I went into this race truly not knowing the outcome, but I was willing to take whatever it was. But, you know, I've always strived to represent the citizens of Campbell County and the property owners of Campbell County in the best way, best fashion that I can. And I will continue to do that for 4 more years, whether it kills me or not, because I work for the property owners no matter what anybody says. They pay my paycheck. It may come from the county government, but like I've always said, I work for the property owners. That's all that I work for. But like I said, you know, this has been most of my life in this office, and all of my education has been directly related to this office, and it will continue to be that way.
You even went to school for this, didn't you?
Yes.
When you went to Roane State.
Yes, I studied geographic information systems, and that is our mapping system within the office. And then the continuing education after that through the Division of Property Assessments, International Association of Assessing Officers, and other courses that I've taken also, because I believe that when you do something, you do it right, whether it be your job, your campaign, mowing the yard. You do it right. But if you drive by my house right now, you'll see my yard has not been mowed in quite a while.
Well, we've had a lot of rain, so.
We'll blame it off on the rain. Yeah,
There you go.
That sounds good. That sounds good. We all know though it's not the rain. I've got 2 broken down lawnmowers and a hay field, more or less, is what it looks like.
So if anybody needs to cut hay, call Brandon.
Exactly. You could probably get a couple bales off of it at least. But no, I've always been, during these elections, been humbled, but man, they spoke, and fortunately it's not time for a change. So, but I do want to thank them, thank the voters. I want to thank my supporters.
Got some of them over there in the corner, don't you?
Yeah, we got some of them over there in the corner. They wanted to come up here. They, you know, I've done this a couple of times, so it's kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of used to it. They're not. So it's like a behind-the-scenes hecklers back here, you know.
Oh,
but
my behind-the-scenes hecklers are not here. I've usually
Yeah.
got my 2 boys here, and this is the first time we've covered an election, and my hecklers haven't been here, and I've missed it. So enjoy your hecklers.
I'll loan you a couple.
Okay,
How about that?
y'all heckle me if you want to. It's good.
But no, it's humbling. It truly is. But you know, no matter what, I'm there for the voters. I'm there for the supporters. I'm there for the property owners, and even the non-supporters. Because, like I said, I don't agree with the politics way. I've said it before. I have to run for a job. I play the politician role, I guess, in everybody's eyes. But I'm an elected official. And there's a difference between a politician and an elected official, at least in my book there are. But I'm still there. You know, I'll still help the non-supporters as I did the supporters, because they pay my salary. You know, they deserve the respect.
As you were on the campaign trail this summer, what was something you kept hearing as far as what people thought of recent events, as far as the reassessment? Because that was a hard lick right when you started your campaign.
It was, and the biggest thing is the misunderstanding and the misconception of it. There was a lot of pretty much wrong information being given out. And I'm not saying that's from the other camp, the other opponents or anything like that. I'm not bashing anybody when it comes to that. It's just there was a lot of misinformation, whether it be one neighbor talking to the next. They think, oh yeah, my values went up double. That means my taxes are going to double. No, it don't. I think y'all done a story on it at some point and showed the change between if the house was at $100,000 and my house went to $200,000, what would be the change in that? And it was very little because of the fact of the tax rate changing. I know it only happens once every 5 years. We're hoping to change that, and I've been told that I will be able to do that to where it won't be such a drastic change between one reappraisal to the next.
So what will shortening that cycle mean for the taxpayers, for the property owners?
What it'll mean is when we will be able to actually reflect the change in market values. You know, market values have always in history, they've went up, back down. A lot of that plays into the presidential election also. And so with our next presidential election coming up, there's a strong possibility that we may see one or the other. I don't think we'll see them going up. So by what I have preached on and tried to for the past probably year and a half, we are prepared to attempt to change to a 3-year reappraisal. Does that change my office any? No, I've got my chief field appraiser over here right now, and the other gentleman that's with us. They are fully prepared to step up to do what they do. During the 5 years, we have a 4-year schedule of review. Doesn't mean that we can't do 2 or 3 years instead. But the changing in the laws or the predicted changing of the laws through legislation has got it to where that we will be able to change to from a 4, 5, and 6 year cycle to a 2, 3, and 4 year cycle mandated. But I think that by changing it to a 3-year, that would actually assist the property owners. It'd be in the property owner's best interest, actually, because at that point it will actually change. If the values start decreasing, then it will change. However, if they start increasing, they might do that too. But I do not see them increasing from now till in 3 years.
We hope not.
No, I do too, because it's gotten now to the point property values have went up so much that it's hard for first-time home buyers to come in and buy a home. You know, when me and my wife bought our first home back, I don't remember how many years. I've been running since like 3 o'clock this morning. I've had a Red Bull, a half a ham biscuit, and a Mountain Dew, I think, and that's what I've had since 3 o'clock this morning.
Maria, feed your husband when you get home, please.
These guys over here, these goons, they got in a truck with me and had sandwiches. Okay, so I've had to smell sandwiches, and still got one back there. So I know,
That's
right?
cold.
I know, right? But I can't knock them, man. They've been with me from the get-go, slinging sledgehammers, running saws, digging holes, and I mean, putting up fence posts and taking them back down and replacing stolen signs and everything else. They've been with me, and so I can't knock them. They need everything that's in the truck if they want to. I'll starve. But anyways, it's gotten to a point that, you know, when me and my wife first bought our first home, we gave a little over $100,000 for it. The interest rates was real low. That same home right now today, you're looking at probably a $300,000 house. How is first-time homeowners being able to buy that? And, you know, and a lot of it is an influx of out-of-towners coming in and buying up the homes due to the fact that, you know, it's a wonderful deal for them down here when property values are so high up there. And I mean, who wouldn't want to move to Campbell County?
Right.
Come on. It's a beautiful place, you know. But that would, I'm hoping that a 3-year would help the property owners not have such a sticker shock as they did earlier this year. So I'm hoping that will assist them, and of course then the tax rate changes. We've all went over this, but that's the biggest issue that we've seen while we was out campaigning is the misunderstanding of a reappraisal and the misconception of it.
Okay. Well, Brandon, thank you so much. This is Brandon Parton. He is our property assessor for the next 4 years, and Jim Freeman, I believe, has some more numbers, if not final numbers for us. So, Jim?
We have finals, Susan. Thank you. And my numbers on District 4 school board race, I think we wound up getting maybe early voting in there twice. Here we go. These are the winners for school board tonight. District 1, Lisa Fields. District 2, Brent Lester. District 3, Brandon Johnson. District 4, Jamie Wheeler. District 5, Ryan Cummins. We'll speak with Josh James momentarily. He's out picking up signs. He's checked in with us. We'll visit with him here in just a moment. Sherry Chapman in District 1, 309 votes. Chapman 309. This is everything reporting in the final. Lisa Fields, the incumbent, 394. Fields, 394. District 2 School Board, Brent Lester, 273. Marvin Rutherford, 149. Lester, 273. Rutherford, 149. District 3 School Board, Brandon Johnson, 385. Jessica Childress, 203. Johnson, 385. Childress, 203. Josh James in District 4, the incumbent. It's Jamie Wheeler, the challenger. Josh James, 263. James 263 and Jamie Wheeler 310. Wheeler with 310. District 5 School Board, it's Ryan Cummins 354. Cummins 354. Bob Walden 182. 182 for Walden in District 5. So it's Fields, Lester, Johnson, Wheeler, and Cummins. The school board race going to those 5 individuals. Ron Dilbeck, the road superintendent, 3,000. Changed that, 2,531 early complimentary votes. 2,531 for Ron Dilbeck. Dennis Powers with 2,070 complimentary votes. He, of course, has more than that based on the other counties where he is representing those partially, but he represents all of Campbell County. The property assessor's race, as mentioned, goes to Brandon Parton, 1,886 votes. Parton, 1,886. Marie Ayers, 907. Ayers with 907. And Clark Ford with 121 votes today. All those precincts reporting 23 of 23 in those races there. So we obviously have doubled up some numbers somewhere along the way as we try to tally those for you throughout the night. But nonetheless, the results remain the same, even though those numbers may be just a bit different. We'll be visiting with Josh James. Anybody else who'd like to visit with us tonight, please feel free to come by the station or give us a call, 423-562-1450 on the line. And we're, of course, here at 210 North 5th Street in La Follette. Back in a second, we'll see if we can make contact with Josh James, visit with him, who's the incumbent coming in tonight in District 4 in the school board race. This is WLAF 2024 election return coverage. Election Coverage 2024 is presented by WLAF and these outstanding corporate partners. Alco Builders and Realty. See Tracy Lobertini and staff at Alco Builders and Realty. Verge Screen Printing. Larry, Dawn, Kobe, and Kimberly Verge are ready to bring your idea to reality. Community Trust Bank. Building communities built on trust with locations in La Follette, Jacksboro, and Clinton. Quality Lawn Sales and Service, Cub Cadet, and more for Campbell County at Indian Mound Circle. La Follette Utilities Board. LUB, providing you with reliable, economical, and friendly service in a continuous effort to enhance the quality of life in our community. Local Realtor Gage Dopel. Gage is ready to help you find your dream home or help you sell your home. 423-201-7971. La Follette Mine Supply. La Follette Mine Supply is where everyone goes for boat lifts, septic tanks, and septic chambers, along with PVC pipe, conduit, and rebar. Bailey and Brody Ball remind you that their dad, Billy, even delivers rebar. Lithocraft, printing and office supplies. Since 1961, Lithocraft has been right there on West Beach Street serving you with all your printing and office supplies. Need something printed? Email it to printmelithocraft@gmail.com. Smith Metals and Dock Sales, right across from Campbell High. Our name says it all. Smith Metals and Dock Sales. Friendly service awaits you. Southern Sass Boutique welcomes you by for the latest styles and an impressive selection. See Southern Sass Boutique next to Charlie's Pizza. First National Bank presents the all-new First National Bank Cougars debit card in the Campbell High colors of orange and blue. Election Coverage 2024 is presented by WLAF and these outstanding corporate partners. Robbins Guttering Roofing and Siding. Call on Eric Robbins today about improving the look of your home or office or making sure your roof is ready for any kind of weather. See Robbins in its new location in the valley across from Big O's. Deal Small Engine and Distributing, your home for steel. TCAT, the leader in technical education and industry training. TCAT is making higher education available to more Tennesseans. Tennessee College of Applied Technology. Community Health of East Tennessee, Chet. Chet is meeting the need. Attorney Greg Leach with Sexton and Leach. Greg is now assisting with Medicare Advantage plans. So when open enrollment rolls around in the fall, call on Greg. 423-907-4804. Campbell County Mayor Jack Lynch. Mayor Lynch is working every day to move Campbell County forward. Collectibles and More is your locally owned and operated home for all kinds of sports memorabilia. See former Cougar Justin Lettner in his La Follette location directly across the 4-lane from Tim Short Ford. People's Bank of the South. Remote deposit is here. Deposit your check anytime, anywhere with the People's Bank of the South app. 2 locations in La Follette and off I-75 at Clinton. Dave's Lawnmower Parts and Service. See Dave and Albright behind the former Scotties at Caravel. Find them next to where the Liars Bench used to be. Gamble Motors has been in business since the 1950s and has sold more than 100,000 vehicles. Jim Gamble is ready to put you behind the wheel of the vehicle of your dreams. When it comes to the home, come to Winder Furniture, next to Stoplight 8 in La Follette. Home, office, or lake home, Winder Furniture makes shopping easy. WLAF, AM, FM, TV.com. It's election coverage 2024. And we're back, and we have some numbers to change here.
Well, it happens. I mean, it's live TV. This is what happens.
All right, let's go through these numbers one more time for you on the winners. District 1 School Board, Sherry Chapman, 513. Lisa Fields, 565. Nothing changes but the numbers. Lisa Fields, 565. So Fields, the incumbent, keeps her seat in District 1 School Board. It's Chapman, 513, Fields, 565. District 2 School Board, Brent Lester, the incumbent, 458. Lester, 458. And Marvin Rutherford, 299. Rutherford, 299. Lester will stay on District 2 School Board. District 3, and we had that correct, but the numbers didn't add up, and now they do.
That's right. And we're going to go back over to District 3 School Board. Jessica Childress at 511. Brandon Johnson, 751. Brandon came by the studio earlier tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Josh James at 572. Jamie Wheeler, 602. That's what my grandmother would say, separated by a cat's whisker. District 5 School Board, Ryan Cummins, 703. And Bob Walden, 300. Of course, both of those were, neither one were the incumbent. They were replacing Steve Morgan, the outgoing chair. That's what they were hoping to do. So.
Assessor of Property, we just heard from Brandon Parton a minute ago. Parton wins 3,657 votes, 3,657. Clark Ford with 218, Ford with 218, and Marie Ayers with 1614. Marie Ayers 1,614 votes, and we were talking about the number of years elected a minute ago, and my phone blew up. So thanks, everybody. Monty Bullock, 9 terms.
Okay. Little election night trivia there.
Yeah, so going to make it 10, Monty? Time will tell, I guess, here in a couple of years. Ken Yager wins Campbell County handily, the incumbent senator from District 12 in the primary race here for the state. Ken Yager, 3,667 votes. Tina Hedrick, 538 votes. Those complimentary votes have changed too. Ron Dilbeck, you had 4,734. And Dennis Powers, 3,927. So we thank you for that. And Matthew Moore has someone lined up on the air for us. And we're going to go off Matthew's phone here, okay? And we have Ann Ayers Colvin on the phone. Miss Ann, congratulations.
Thank you very much. I just hadn't had a chance to call and let y'all know that I really appreciate what you all do with giving out the election returns. I didn't hear anything about the congressional races, but I'm real happy to thank everybody for 3,372 complimentary votes for the state executive committee woman for the Tennessee Republican Party. So, did you get any numbers in on the congressional races?
Okay, Marsha Blackburn. Actually, that's the Senate race. We have no congressional numbers to pass along. We didn't include those on our list. We'll have those. We'll have all that momentarily on 1450WLAF.com.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to call and say thank you to everybody in Campbell County that's been helping me. I really appreciate it.
Well, Ann, congratulations and thank you, and we wish you well.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Ann Ayers-Colvin, Matthew Moore, thank you. We're going to work to get Josh James on the line. He's out picking up signs. Josh has already talked with Jamie Wheeler, congratulating her as Wheeler wins in District 4 for the school board race, 602 to 572. And back in just a second with Josh James. It's WLAF Election Coverage 2024. Thanks for connecting. Election Coverage 2024 is presented by WLAF and these outstanding corporate partners. Alco Builders and Realty. See Tracy Lobertini and staff at Alco Builders and Realty. Burge Screen Printing. Larry, Dawn, Kobe, and Kimberly Burge are ready to bring your idea to reality. Community Trust Bank. Building communities built on trust with locations in La Follette, Jacksboro, and Clinton. Quality Lawn Sales and Service, Cub Cadet, and more for Campbell County at Indian Mound Circle. La Follette Utilities Board, LUB, providing you with reliable, economical, and friendly service in a continuous effort to enhance the quality of life in our community. Local Realtor Gage Dopel. Gage is ready to help you find your dream home or help you sell your home. 423-201-7971. La Follette Mine Supply. La Follette Mine Supply is where everyone goes for boat lifts, septic tanks, and septic chambers, along with PVC pipe, conduit, and rebar. Bailey and Brody Ball remind you that their dad, Billy, even delivers rebar. Lithocraft, printing and office supplies. Since 1961, Lithocraft has been right there on West Beach Street, serving you with all your printing and office supplies. Need something printed? Email it to printmelithocraft@gmail.com. Smith Metals and Dock Sales, right across from Campbell High. Our name says it all. Smith Metals and Dock Sales. Friendly service awaits you. Southern Sass Boutique welcomes you by for the latest styles and an impressive selection. See Southern Sass Boutique next to Charlie's Pizza. First National Bank presents the all-new First National Bank Cougars debit card in the Campbell High colors of orange and blue. Election Coverage 2024 is presented by WLAF and these outstanding corporate partners. Robbins Guttering Roofing and Siding. Call on Eric Robbins today about improving the look of your home or office or making sure your roof is ready for any kind of weather. See Robbins in its new location in the valley across from Big O's. Deal Small Engine and Distributing, your home for steel. TCAT, the leader in technical education and industry training. TCAT is making higher education available to more Tennesseans. Tennessee College of Applied Technology. Community Health of East Tennessee, Chet. Chet is meeting the need. Attorney Greg Leach with Sexton, and Leach. Greg is now assisting with Medicare Advantage plans. So when open enrollment rolls around in the fall, call on Greg, 423-907-4804. Campbell County Mayor Jack Lynch. Mayor Lynch is working every day to move Campbell County forward. Collectibles and More is your locally owned and operated home for all kinds of sports memorabilia. See former Cougar Justin Lettner in his La Follette location directly across the 4-lane from Tim Short Ford. People's Bank of the South. Remote deposit is here. Deposit your check anytime, anywhere with the People's Bank of the South app. 2 locations in La Follette and off I-75 at Clinton. Dave's Lawnmower Parts and Service. See Dave and Albright behind the former Scotties at Caravel. Find them next to where the Liars Bench used to be. Gamble Motors has been in business since the 1950s and has sold more than 100,000 vehicles. Jim Gamble is ready to put you behind the wheel of the vehicle of your dreams. When it comes to the home, come to Winder Furniture, next to Stoplight 8 in La Follette. Home, office, or lake home, Winder Furniture makes shopping easy. WLAF, AM, FM, TV, and .com. It's Election Coverage 2024. Election coverage 2024 on WLAF. Jim Freeman with Susan Sharp, and Josh James has taken time to visit with us. Josh, thank you for connecting with us tonight. A tough race here tonight, tight race with you and Jamie Wheeler.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you all. Y'all do a phenomenal job covering, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a really good race. Jamie ran extremely hard. I've already called and I congratulated her earlier and just told her, that I wished her nothing but the very best. And if she needed any help along the way, to not hesitate to ask. But my family, we've been extremely blessed to be able to serve the last 6 years to the Campbell County Board of Education, and it was something that I never took lightly. I appreciated doing it every day, trying to help in any way I could. It didn't go our way tonight, but sometimes that happens. I think it's a very good learning experience for my boys to understand that, hey, sometimes you put hard work in and it doesn't go your way, and you just have to keep your head held high and just keep moving forward.
Well, Josh, we appreciate you taking time for us tonight, but there have been so many people over your tenure as District 4 School Board Representative and then District 2 for a couple of years there. So many people in the community have talked about just how committed you have been and how well you have served in your time on the school board. And I certainly have to echo those thoughts as well. But how does that make you feel to know that people in the community consider you have done a great job in your 6 years?
It's extremely humbling. I'm born and raised here. I love Campbell County with all my heart. I gave everything I had to the Board of Education. I never took any decision lightly. I always, took, everything was calculated in any decision I made. And it speaks volumes. I think it speaks volumes, though, right now of where our education stands. We've got a ton of momentum right now in our education program. Jennifer's doing an absolute phenomenal job. Like I said earlier, I think when I was with you all earlier, we've increased 5 out of the last 6 years, and that's something that your head leave your head held high on. And I think, like I said, I've done it to the best of my ability. I really, really appreciate everyone who supported me. That's awesome, man. When you have somebody comes up, and they tell you, hey, I voted for you, it really is humbling, and it's something that I've not taken lightly. And like I said, my family and I, we wish nothing but the very best for the Board of Education. I've still got 2 kids in the system, and I will have another one in the system. And so, but I can't thank Jennifer and the rest of the board enough for the job that they're doing currently, and hopefully continue to do.
Well, I must ask, what is next for Josh James?
That's a great question. I've already had several people reach out, and I think it's a great time. We have some businesses here in town. We're lucky and blessed enough to have Northlake Insurance and Exterior Home Solutions, and then we have the newly acquired Northlake Boat Store. So I'm extremely busy. I've got 2 boys that are in everything. I've got one that anything with the ball he likes to play. So I'd like to just focus on my businesses and focus on my family. Politics is something that I never thought I'd see myself doing, and my wife is the one that takes everything the hardest. So, But like I said, I think just focus on the businesses and focus on my family for now.
Well, we wish you well there, and thank you for your support of WLAF over the years. We greatly appreciate that, Josh.
Yeah, and thank you guys so much. You all have done an absolute phenomenal job for the last 6 years, and I can't thank you all enough for the job that you all do. So thank you.
Well, thank you. We wish you well, and good night.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Josh James visiting with us here tonight on WLAF, and I think we should run down the numbers one more time and call it a night. How about that?
Works for me.
Okay, we'll let you lead off with District 1
All right,
School Board.
District 1 School Board, that's Sherry Chapman at 513, and Lisa Fields, the incumbent, at 565.
Brent Lester holds on to his seat in District 2, winning over his close friend, Marvin Rutherford. Lester, 458 votes for Brent Lester, 299 votes for Marvin Rutherford.
District 3 School Board is going to be Jessica Childress, 511, and Brandon Johnson, 751. Of course, Brandon coming by the studio earlier tonight, thanking everybody for the win.
District 4, Jamie Wheeler comes away the winner here, the challenger, 602 votes. And we just heard from Josh James, 572 votes. And then in District 5, Ryan Cummins takes over.
He does it with 703 to Bob Walden's 300.
And the property assessor's race, a countywide race, Brandon Parton maintains his position as the property assessor. This is beginning his fifth term?
Yes, fifth term.
3,657 votes for Brandon Parton. Clark Ford with 218, and Marie Ayers, 1,614 votes. And again, these are all the numbers in. These are the finals here. And then Ken Yager winning Campbell County handily over Tina Hedrick.
Yes, that would be Tina Hedrick with 538 and Ken Yager 3,667.
Yager represents District 12, the largest Senate district in the state, by the way. Well, Susan, thanks for your help. We appreciate it tonight. It's been fun.
It has.
Quickly.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you. And thank you for connecting tonight. Thanks to our staff, all our sponsors, everybody making this possible tonight, all the candidates for you connecting with us tonight and being a part of our broadcast here on WLAF. We certainly appreciate everybody. We're signing off tonight. See you tomorrow morning bright and early on WLAF. This is AMFMTV.com, WLAF. Good night. Election Coverage 2024 is presented by WLAF and these outstanding corporate partners. Alco Builders and Realty. See Tracy Lobertini and staff at Alco Builders and Realty. Burge Screen Printing. Larry, Dawn, Kobe, and Kimberly Burge are ready to bring your idea to reality. Community Trust Bank. Building communities built on trust with locations in La Follette, Jacksboro, and Clinton. Quality Lawn Sales and Service. Cub Cadet and more for Campbell County at Indian Mound Circle. La Follette Utilities Board, LUB, providing you with reliable, economical, and friendly service in a continuous effort to enhance the quality of life in our community. Local Realtor Gage Dopel. Gage is ready to help you find your dream home or help you sell your home. 423-201-7971. La Follette Mine Supply. La Follette Mine Supply is where everyone goes for boat lifts, septic tanks, and septic chambers, along with PVC pipe, conduit, and rebar. Bailey and Brody Ball remind you that their dad, Billy, even delivers rebar. Lithocraft, printing and office supplies. Since 1961, Lithocraft has been right there on West Beach Street, serving you with all your printing and office supplies. Need something printed? Email it to printmelithocraft@gmail.com. Smith Metals and Dock Sales, right across from Campbell High. Our name says it all. Smith Metals and Dock Sales. Friendly service awaits you. Southern Sass Boutique welcomes you by for the latest styles and an impressive selection. See Southern Sass Boutique next to Charlie's Pizza. First National Bank presents the all-new First National Bank Cougars debit card in the Campbell High colors of orange and blue. Election Coverage 2024 is presented by WLAF and these outstanding corporate partners. Robbins Guttering Roofing and Siding. Call on Eric Robbins today about improving the look of your home or office or making sure your roof is ready for any kind of weather. See Robbins in its new location in the valley across from Big O's. Deal Small Engine and Distributing, your home for steel. TCAT, the leader in technical education and industry training. TCAT is making higher education available to more Tennesseans. Tennessee College of Applied Technology. Community Health of East Tennessee, Chet. Chet is meeting the need. Attorney Greg Leach with Sexton, and Leach. Greg is now assisting with Medicare Advantage plans. So when open enrollment rolls around in the fall, call on Greg, 423-907-4804. Campbell County Mayor Jack Lynch. Mayor Lynch is working every day to move Campbell County forward. Collectibles and More is your locally owned and operated home for all kinds of sports memorabilia. See former Cougar Justin Lettner in his La Follette location directly across the 4-lane from Tim Short Ford. People's Bank of the South. Remote deposit is here. Deposit your check anytime, anywhere with the People's Bank of the South app. 2 locations in La Follette and off I-75 at Clinton. Dave's Lawnmower Parts and Service. See Dave and Albright behind the former Scotties at Caravel. Find them next to where the Liars Bench used to be. Gamble Motors has been in business since the 1950s and has sold more than 100,000 vehicles. Jim Gamble is ready to put you behind the wheel of the vehicle of your dreams. When it comes to the home, come to Winder Furniture, next to Stoplight 8 in La Follette. Home, office, or lake home, Winder Furniture makes shopping easy. WLAF, AM, FM, TV, and .com. It's Election Coverage 2024.